amazing. It's an honor to have you in here with us. We truly honor, appreciate, and value you. And once again, I would be welcoming in a very, very short while after we take the national anthem to give our welcome address, our convener. She's an amazing woman. She's a lead consultant and the chief executive officer of Katzin Consult. She has been at the presiding helm of affairs at Katzin Consult for the past 18 years. She has grown the business from just a small consulting firm to a world-class consulting firm today that is servicing different clients both within and outside the shores of our great nation. She's an organizational psychologist at PhD level. She's a management consultant. She's a trainer. She's an MC. She can do this work that I'm doing better than I do. She's the only woman I know who has 14 streams of income and counting. If you have not heard her story, today will provide you another opportunity to hear the amazing story that she has to share. But before we proceed to all that we have in store for you today, I will be asking the media team to please roll the national anthem for us so that we can all sing it together as a sign of our commitment and a show of our love for our dear nation, Nigeria. I won't be doing this alone. I'll be co-anchoring with two of my amazing colleagues who I believe you met earlier today. The first whom I would like to recognize was a beautiful lady who just handed the microphone over to me. Her name is Chidema Olanrewaju. And joining us as well in the session will be Atinuke Adamolekun. Today and together, we promise to give you a beautiful CS experience alongside all of our volunteers who are doing one thing or the other to make sure you have a fantastic experience. If you'd like to use the restroom, please just signal and indicate to any of the ushers. They will make the restroom location addressed to you so that you can have a beautiful experience here. And if you need anything, we have a dedicated team of volunteers who are on site and are committed to ensuring that you level up and you do have a beautiful time in that conference. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, please put your hands together for yourself and make yourselves warmly, 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 warmly welcome to the Career Acceleration Summit. Media team, are we ready? All right, may I ask that we all please rise as we take the national anthem in honor of our dear nation, Nigeria. We'll need volume on the big screen. So for those who don't know the anthem, we oblige you the lyrics. I need the audio, please. Sound team. Okay, let's roll it from the top and then let's just sing it using the lyrics. Let's go. Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians all are proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Our flag shall be a symbol that peace and justice reigns. In peace or battle harder, and this we count as gain. To hand unto our children a banner without stain. Of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build our nation where no man is oppressed. And so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed. Can we take the pledge together? I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend our unity and uphold our honor and glory. So help me, God. Please put your hands together for yourself and do have your seat. Please put your hands together for yourselves one more time and have your seat. Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome once again to the Career Acceleration Summit. We're grateful that you're here. We truly appreciate your presence. We are truly, truly grateful to every one of you for making our time to join us here at this global summit that is empowering entrepreneurs and career professionals to level up in their career and to become the very best at what they do. I'll be bringing up to the podium in a very, very short while the convener of the Career Acceleration Summit to give us our welcome address. However, before I bring her to the podium, I'd like to recognize in our midst the presence of Mr. Olufemi Michael Olarinde. Is the head fiscal and tax reforms implementation, the Federal Inland Revenue Service Nigeria. Please, can you put your hands together for him? This summit is made possible because of the partnership of our headline sponsor, the Federal Inland Revenue Service. We're truly grateful for the gift of you. Thank you for all you do in our nation, Nigeria. Thank you for all you do to ensure that we have good roads. Thank you for all you do in ensuring that we have, quality healthcare, quality education. All of the taxes that are being paid are being redistributed into several impact programs in Nigeria. And we truly do appreciate you. Is representing the executive chairman of the FIRS. We are truly, truly grateful for your partnership and your collaboration. On behalf of the board of directors of Katzin Consult and the convener of the Career Acceleration Summit, we make you warmly welcome and we truly say a very big thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please help me appreciate the FIRS, our headline sponsor for this event. We're truly grateful. We know you came in with a few of your team members and your colleagues. We appreciate you. We honor you. We're truly grateful and glad to have you in here with us. I will be back in your faces in a short while, but I'd like to bring to the microphone at this time the convener of the Career Acceleration Summit, a woman that I know who has a very large and beautiful heart. She is a management consultant of repute and an organizational psychologist at PhD level. She's the CEO and the lead consultant of Katzin Consult. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me appreciate the gift of the one, the only, Coach Afolake Agumbiade, as she gives us our welcome address. Is that the best you can do? Please put your hands together for some more. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Barrister Israel Ojuade and the co-convener of the Career Acceleration Summit. Can you have a round of applause for him? Wow. So today is here, and I think a good place to start is to say thank you to God for making this a reality. We started the Career Acceleration Summit last year, October 2024, and we picked October because that is the month where Nigeria got its independence. Why the Career Acceleration Summit, you may ask? So I've been a consultant for about 18 years. And in that entire period that I have been working as a management consultant, HR consultant, it has become of urgent importance to address the issue of employability. Because contrary to what we say and what you hear on the streets is that there are no jobs in Nigeria. That is a lie. That's a huge lie. Because as a consultant, we get recruitment requests for every single cadre of employment. Mid-level, senior level, junior level. And sometimes even the organizations that reach out to us have been trying to recruit for months, 3 months, 2 months, sometimes as much as 6 months. Why would you say 6 months? They have hired someone that came in and could not do the job, or they've hired someone that came in, worked for 3 days and ran, or they've done interviews and invited, shortlisted Do you know the process of shortlisting for a role? It's no jokes. Because you don't just use your professional expertise. You also have to use your spiritual expertise, spiritual intelligence. Because you will see CVs that look like that person is a bag of chips and more. But when they show up, you would almost faint. And you also don't want to waste your own time, your investment for that interview. So they shortlist and they interview candidates to come for interviews, and they don't show up. Is it not crazy? And we say there are no jobs in Nigeria. Now, with the advent of the Japa syndrome, it even got worse. Because there was a massive brain drain. Guess what? The people who are employable were never out of a job. And of course, Japa took them first. It was a no-brainer. Because those people went into the economies that they were going into, and they immediately found a place. I trust you, they didn't do care. They did not clean houses. They were not in factories packing SIM cards, or in cold rooms, or all the horrible stories we have abroad. I'm a teens mentor, and in where I serve, in a particular year, I lost 6 people to relocation. In 1 year, in less than 6 months. I felt naked. I looked to my side, nobody. Left, nobody. Front, nobody. Back, nobody. I started asking myself, am I okay that I want to stay in Nigeria? But I realized that it was easier. It's the easier route to give up on Nigeria and run. It's very easy. The harder one is to stay, fight, and build. Now, all of those 6 people that I'm talking about have been out of Nigeria, say, 4 to 5 years. And I can tell you categorically that they are doing excellently well. They are not random people. They bought their own houses. They have their own cars. Because they had caught the acceleration bug from Nigeria. Like I always say, a monkey in Nigeria is a monkey in the UK. Yeah. A gorilla in Nigeria will automatically be a gorilla in Canada. The same principles of excellence, drive, tenacity, ethics, being able to articulate your own journey, owning yourself and your expertise is standard across the world. It's not new. It is what it is. So we decided to go on this journey and fix the problem of employability. Because if we don't, from the grassroots level to the mid-level to the senior level, all cadres of employment in Nigeria requires skills of the future. Not skills of now, but skills of the future. We're evolving. COVID did that for us. COVID collapsed the future of work. I remember before COVID, I used to do physical trainings a lot. And they will tell you, we want you for 5 days. We'll all sit down there and be sweating. COVID happened to us. And every single person who refused to catch the tech board was forced to. Beyond that, another area that the Career Acceleration Summit is committed to fixing is around mindsets. I'm a psychologist, and it's quite heartbreaking that I get to work with people who are in their 40s, 50s. I have clients who are in their 60s. And it's quite heartbreaking that you find people's mental health deteriorating because they have lived lives, but they have not lived a life of impact. So there are people who have done so much, but they've not done it in the direction of their becoming. They are not happy. They are not fulfilled. They don't see a legacy because there's no man who wants to die without not leaving something behind. Contrary to popular opinion, we want to be remembered. Career Acceleration is here to inspire you, to grow, to level up, because stagnant water stinks. Our inability to move will only come back to bite us. Time will ask us, how have we profited from the same number of 24 hours that you have been given and 365 days over the number of years that you would want to take account for? So this morning, I want to implore you to get ready. Phone a friend, tell someone. It's quite weird that over 300 people RSVP'd to be in this room. I promise you, they are still coming. But welcome to the ethics issues that we live with in this side of the divide. People have no respect for time. People do not understand the currency of time. People do not invest in harvesting the days because there is profit in each day. This summit will take us there and bring us back. We started yesterday and it was so amazing. One of the key things that kept ringing through yesterday was the need to become a specialist. You can't be a generalist. I do everything. You are not doing anything. I'm able to do all things. Yes, I have 14 streams of income. Me that I'm standing here, I do a lot. But I'm still a specialist at something. And those things that I do are stemming from the specialization that I have picked. Don't leave here the same, because there is a huge need for us to move. If we do not move and we do not change our paradigms, we will continue to be the sleeping giant of Africa. Even though the largest capacity of intellect dwells in Nigeria. We're so intelligent. I'm here to, do you know what it takes to commit crime? It requires a huge level of intelligence. Do you know what it takes to even be foolish? There's an intelligence that is required to be foolish. But here we are, a nation filled with diverse talents. We've got humor. We are loud. We have everything it takes. We've been beaten, but we're not burnt. We've gone through a lot, but we are going somewhere. I want to encourage you to not live here the same. Make a commitment to growth for your personal journey, because no one is coming to save you if you don't save yourself. Level up and welcome to the Career Acceleration Summit.
Amazing. A round of applause. Are you sure you're clapping for our convener? Are you sure you are? That clap is for our convener. A round of applause for Ms. Folake Agumbiade. Amazing, amazing. She has said a lot. She has said a lot. And I hope we have started to, our minds are started to open up to the possibilities of what is ahead of us today. Amazing. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. A round of applause for ourselves, too, for being here today. Okay, so I'm going to be inviting our next speaker. He will be delivering the keynote address on behalf of the Executive Chairman of the FIRS, Dr. Zach Adedeji. FIRS is our headline sponsor for the Career Acceleration Summit. A round of applause for FIRS, everyone. Please, let's thank them for being our sponsor. Okay, so I'm bringing to the stage Mr. Olufemi Michael Olarinde. He's the head Fiscal and Tax Reform Implementation, FIRS Nigeria. You're welcome to the Career Acceleration Summit 2025. Good to have you here with us.
Thank you very much. Good morning, all. Protocol, thank you, our convener, Mrs. Folake Agumbiade, for those kind words, for those your opening statements. I want to acknowledge everyone seated here today. With respect, I humbly respect everyone who is seated here today. The co-convener who has been announced, our Oga there seated, have been introduced to me earlier, and every other person at the front row, and even everyone who has been here today. You know, I can relate well with when the convener was speaking about employability. I also have a side qualification in human resources. And so I understand very much what she was speaking about. Before I give my keynote, the keynote address, you know, when you talk about employability, another thing is you are looking at people who want to get a new job. Sometimes you also look at people who even have the job already. And also, if you need to conduct assessment to re-employ them, you may be surprised what you get. So a public service, one of the biggest public services in Nigeria, decided to hire a consultant, an HR consultant, and say, okay, there's something they do in service. They say, look at, you know, we have people who are called dead woods. They are right there in the system. They no longer offer anything. They just come into the money, clock in, and clock out in the evening. They may be on their desk from morning till evening. Then so the consultant said, we want to see how we can bring in fresh minds, speak to people who are agile. And they call one of the people they believe was very good with, one of the excellent workers. And they said, please, can you advise us? We want to do people who have, no matter how long you have in service, even if it is 10 years, just give us, we will pay the person 5 years salary and they will leave so that we can create more space. Do you know what the person said? The guy said, I'm number one. I'll be number one to leave. And he was one of the best in the system. You know what that means? That the best is looking for better. The ones that are staying are the ones that believe, if I live here, what will I get? In other words, we have many people, even in the system, who are unemployed, who are unemployable. That's what I mean. And many times when people send vacancies to me, sometimes I look at circles, especially those of us that go to church, and you start looking for who can fit into this role. It starts becoming very difficult. And when you attain a status, you don't want to recommend people that can be referred to as mediocre. And so it becomes even more difficult. And sometimes it's not because some people just don't want to. It's just that they need to put in some effort. And so this morning, thank you for bringing us, and for Dr. Zach Adedeji has sent his compliments and wishing you well in this Career Acceleration Summit. He believes so much in youth empowerment. He believes so much in empowering people for tomorrow. Because if you are not empowered today for tomorrow, how will you pay the taxes? So we believe in growing. We believe in growing the people so that they can also invest tomorrow. So I'll be giving the keynote address by Dr. Zach Adedeji. Good morning, distinguished guest speakers, professionals, and future leaders. It is an honor to stand before such an extraordinary gathering of bright minds, people committed to designing, not drifting into their future. The theme of the summit, Level Up, Your Future, Your Design, is as bold as it is profound. And I say, let that sink into you today. He said, not your future, your luck, not your future, your chance, but your future, your design. It reminds us that the future is not shaped by luck, nor by chance, or even by circumstances, but by intention, vision, and deliberate effort. We live in a time when opportunities abound, yet distractions multiply. To strive in such a world, we must not only aspire, we must take ownership design with clarity, and act with purpose. Allow me, therefore, to share my thoughts on this theme through 5 key points that define the journey towards personal and professional acceleration. The first one is the era of ownership. We have entered an era where the greatest advantage is not access to information, it is ownership of purpose. The tools to succeed are everywhere. Online courses, mentorship, communities, and global connections. Yet, so are excuses, comparisons, and distractions. As Nelson Mandela once said, action without vision is only passing time. It's only passing time. Vision without action is merely daydreaming. But vision with action can change the world. And so to level up in this era, you must own your story. Don't wait for permission to grow. Don't wait for title to lead. Don't wait for circumstances to be perfect before you act. Every experience, whether success or setback, is a building block for your unique journey. The future belongs to those who take responsibility for their growth, not those who wait for opportunity to knock. Your future is not a lottery ticket. It is a design project. Take charge of it. The second one, design by intention, with intention. Great designers never begin without a vision. They imagine the end before the start. In the same way, you must design your career and life with intention, not reaction. Ask yourself, what do I want to be known for? What skill am I developing today that will make me relevant tomorrow? What problem is my field or my nation? Am I preparing to solve? Also, Steve Jobs said, you cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward. So you have to trust that dots. That dots will somehow connect in future. So clarity precedes acceleration. You cannot level up what you have not defined. When your vision is clear, every decision becomes a deliberate step towards it. Whether you are an entrepreneur, a public servant, or professional, let your choices align with your ultimate design. The third is the power of the adaptability. The path to success is no longer linear. It is dynamic. The convener was talking about people having multiple skills. He said something. Yes, you should be a specialist in something. You can also know many other things. Why? You know those many other things to be able to adapt in every situation before you now put forward the skill you have. So there was, I'm just a bit deviating from my speech. There's somebody, so in some organization, there are places they call like a refugee camp. When you offend, they post you there. So they posted this guy to the registry. The registry is, you just look for files for people. So in the registry, this guy is a professional. He decided to be reviewing the files when there were no issues. But he started looking out, getting issues, and he was the one now raising issues to treat, even in the main office. So he became the cornerstone of that institution, rather than the rejected stone. Or he became the cornerpiece, rather than the rejected stone. So he used the skill he had to prove. So the skill that will sustain your rise is not perfection, but flexibility. The willingness to learn, unlearn, and relearn. The workplace of the future demands digital competence, emotional intelligence, cross-cultural understanding, and entrepreneurial thinking. Again, Charles Darwin said, it is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change. At the Federal Inland Revenue Service, we have embraced this mindset, and we are investing in continuous learning, equipping our workforce with skills to serve a digital economy. I encourage you to do the same. Commit to a lifelong learning, because to level up means to learn faster than the world is changing. And for my fourth point, say community, not competition. As you design your future, remember, no one succeeds alone. The myth of the self-made person is just that, a myth. Behind every successful individual is a network of mentors, collaborators, and supporters. Ellen Keller also said, alone we do so little, but together we do so much. So build your community. Learn across generations. Honor those who came before you, even as you innovate beyond them. No experience is bad. Do not fear competition. Embrace collaboration. The greatest acceleration in any field are not those who push others down, but those who pull others up. When you lift others, you create an ecosystem of excellence that multiplies success for yourself, your peers, and your nation. And as part of building your community is fulfilling your civic responsibility. As a member of a community, as you grow, especially as we're talking about acceleration to grow, remember to contribute to the community by paying your fair share of taxes. By paying your fair share of taxes. And so the fifth one, from intention to action. We have discussed ownership, intention, adaptability, and collaboration. But none of this matters without action. The best way to predict the future is to create it. And the best way to create it is to start now. The future depends on what you do today, said by Mahatma Gandhi. Start learning that new skill. Start speaking with confidence. Start showing up as the version of yourself that is already 5 years ahead. The future will not wait for you, but it will respond to you. So I leave you with this charge. Level up, not just in title, but in mindset. Level up, not just for yourself, but for those who will walk the path after you. Level up, because your future is not a mystery, it is a design. Thank you, and I see you at the top.
Another round of applause for our amazing Mr. Olufemi Michael Olarinde. Thank you for giving us the keynote address on behalf of the Executive Chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Dr. Zach Adedeji. FIRS, our headline sponsor for the Career Acceleration Summit 2025. Please, can you put your hands together for him one more time? Please make it louder. Thank you so much. You left a word with me that the best way to predict the future is to create it. And the best way to create it is to start now. Can you turn to your neighbor and say, start now? Can you turn to another person and say, please start now? Thank you so much once again. We truly do appreciate you. So that we do not take time, we would like to present a special recognition award to the Executive Chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service as a token of our appreciation to the entire Federal Inland Revenue Service for your continued collaboration and partnership that has made this summit a resounding success. We began yesterday with a fully virtual summit. We had participants from different parts of the world who joined and took away a lot of value. We had 2 sessions yesterday. The first session held in the morning and the second session held in the evening. We had 6 speakers on the panel, both for the morning and evening sessions respectively. And today we're having an additional 5 or 8 or so thereabout that is made possible because of your partnership and your collaboration. So on behalf of all of us at Katzen Consult, we say thank you. Do extend our esteemed regards to the executive chairman and to the entire team at the Federal Inland Revenue Service. And we assure you that we will contribute to our community by paying our taxes. Can you turn to another person and say, pay your taxes? Thank you so much. I'll bring up the convener to do the honors of presenting the Special Recognition Award to the Executive Chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Dr. Zach Adedeji. Sir, I would like to bring you again to the podium to come receive this award on behalf of the Executive Chairman. Please, can you put your hands together for our very esteemed guest?
On behalf of the entire Career Acceleration Summit team, and of course, Katzen Consults, the organizing company for the Career Acceleration Summit, would like to say a special thank you to the FIRS, and of course, the chairman himself, Dr. Zach Adedeji. Thank you so much for partnering with us. Thank you so much, sir.
Without much ado, we're bringing up our next speaker, our very first speaker, somebody whom I respect so very much. I'm excited to be in the room with her, actually. So I'll be reading her profile very quickly before she comes up. Omofuma Agarita is the Strategic Communications Lead at the Policy Innovation Center, PIC. In this role, she leads the development of visual communications for PIC's major initiatives, high-level summits, and programs. She creates strategic content that highlights PIC's impact across research, policy, gender, and behavioral insight projects, ensuring clarity, creativity, and brand alignment. Prior to joining PIC, Omo worked extensively in media and communications, leading flagship programming at CBN Africa, overseeing story sourcing, scripting, production management, and humanitarian-focused media initiatives across Nigeria and West Africa. She also contributed as a documentary filmmaker and consultant for an African renewable energy company, consistently highlighting social impact through compelling storytelling. Omo holds a master's degree in international media studies from DW Academy, Bonn Sieg University of Applied Sciences and University of Bonn. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's make it rain. As she comes up, our notable woman of note, Omo. Thank you. Please let's keep clapping, let's keep clapping.
Okay, I won't stay behind this. It's showing that I'm not very tall. So I'm going to come out from it. You know, when you see Folake stand here, you think it's... I should have known. The way I could see her face, I should have known that my face will not make it beyond here. Now I know. Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Omo. My surname is Agarite. We have passed the stage to be upset at how they pronounce the surname, because even me, I did not know how to pronounce it for a while. I did a YouTube channel, and I confessed my sins there. I told them that I don't know how to pronounce this surname, but it's okay. Anything I call it is what it is. I remember in my former church, they will call me Agarite. It's all right. At the end of the day, you shall know who they are calling. So it's Omo. So I would like to, yes, it's far easier, Omo Agarite. But whatever you call it, I'll still answer, so it's fine. After all, I'm a Christian, so we're supposed to get new names. So it's not a problem. So I would like to start this morning by saying a big thank you to the organizers and to everyone here. I am incredibly honored to be here because I don't take it for granted. I'm a very simple person. I have wala too, but it's like I like to be in the room to listen and to learn and to keep growing, and I like one-on-one communication a whole lot more than standing right in front of the crowd. But still, I'm very honored to be here, and I don't take it for granted that you all are in the room, and I'm speaking beside these people that I respect incredibly much. These are people that I have had either on my shows at some point when I was producing 700 Club, or not just listened to. I have worked with Mr. Akin before now as a copper. I was producing a book for him, and here I am going to be on the same stage with him. Do you get that? I remember. So I'm really honored to be speaking beside Barrister Wesley. Just incredible to be here. I usually like to start with a very quick story about my journey. I'm married. I have 2 boys. I'm 12 years in marriage, so yes, I started young. My dad thought that God told me that I would die early. Maybe that's why I was rushing. And that was his opinion. He was wondering why I was getting married so quick, because he thought I would do my master's. But I like the man that asked me to marry him. So why wait, right? So we're here, and I'm glad I started early. One of the also interesting things with starting at that point was I'm a bit of a tomboy, so that's also a good reason that a guy that likes you like who you are, you don't have to change. You get it. All of you are on track. Okay, but I started out with a degree in geology from Delta State University, because I thought that I wanted to do something with environmental sciences. And I always wanted to be an outlier, so I wanted to study something that was not common. So I studied geology because my dad said arts is something that anybody can do. You don't have to go to school to study art. You don't have to. I was in a generation that it was engineering, medicine, law. Those are 3 critical careers. So it's science or that other class, but not art. Acting, communications, you can do it from anywhere you are. And so that's why I picked geology. But I think the man should have known, because he confessed that when I was a baby, that they would call me and I won't answer because I'm watching TV. Like, my eyes are on the television set, no matter what's happening. So I was curious about television and productions. I was before the camera as a young child. I think about 6 years old. They have it on VHS. Have I dated myself by saying VHS? Yes. So there's something they used to call cassette player. That thing. There's one we have in my house that has me on record. Maybe 6, 7, cooking pepper soup. And I think I had to watch Google recently to update how to cook pepper soup. So those things you learn as a child don't always stick with you. I just need to let you know that now. So I cooked, so we had that. I was always before or behind the camera working on things, but then I studied science, geology, and I was going to do something in environmental science. Then I graduated and started doing things in communications. Started doing photography, started doing motion graphic with Windows Movie Maker, and just found myself in the media team in church and all of those things. And started working with Christian Broadcasting Network and evolved into what I'm doing today. I'm glad that he's not disappointed in me. That's my dad, by the way, because, well, my name is usually on the end cast for some TV programs, so that's, oh yeah, so how's work now? How are you doing in the office? Oh, you're doing very well. So we're glad that we stayed on the path that we stayed on. But what I really wanted to say here was that the path that you will take in life is not linear, like the chairman's rep said. It's not always going to be linear and direct and very clear as you think it should be. Some of us have like this grand vision of this is the path, and it's so clear. And I love it for people who have found their purpose in that sense. early and say, this is the path it's going to be. So I'm going to study this, do that, and that's exactly how I'm going to be. And I'm glad for you, but it doesn't always work out like that. And I think the beginning of this entire conversation is to ask yourself, why do I want to get noticed? Why do I want to be visible? Because I'm speaking on media visibility, career growth, using it. Really just looking at digital public relations and how to craft stories that get you noticed. That's what I'm talking about. How to craft stories that get you noticed. But the first question I'd like to ask us is, why do you want to get noticed? Why does it matter? I heard the convener speak, I heard the chairman speak, and I didn't start my timer. Someone time me. Okay, so you cue me, like, all right, thank you. And the question was, if I really level up myself, if I want to play globally, like I love what I hear and I'm motivated to play globally, and I want to go high, to what end? And so what? I'm now visible, and so what? We've had stories of people who have gained visibility and are tired of it. We have people who go out, who are actors, and they just run away from the limelight. I was watching a very short interview of Will Smith this morning, and he said his daughter Willow, when they were on the tour with Jay-Z, Justin Bieber, Jay-Z's tour on Whip My Hair, that's the song she sang at that time. They had just finished I think the tour had just really started, and she just finished doing her part, and she came down the stage, walked straight to Will Smith and told him, Dad, I'm done. And he says, yes, good job, let's go get ready for tomorrow. She said, no, I'm done, I want to go home. Say, no, you can't go home, it's 30 days, we're just starting, you can't go anywhere. She says, then he says, we promised Jay-Z we'll do this for 30 days. She said, you promised him, I'm not going, I'm done. Does it not matter that I'm done? He said, no, you have to keep your word. We have to do 30 days. And they got to the hotel room. Jada Pinkett stepped out. And then the next morning, Willow came out from the bathroom with her hair shaved. She had cut her hair. And that's when he hit him. That, okay, we're really done. We're going. But I think the reason I remember that story in this moment is your purpose, really, what you want to do at every point in your life, really needs to be beyond the fame, right now it looks really important that you're popular because of the influence that you get from them, because of the fundings that you get from them. But before you chase visibility, before you chase influence, please just understand who you are, know your values, check yourself, be honest with yourself, be authentic, be true. If you have that on lockdown, then you will know what to do with the success when it comes. Because there are people who get to the top there and they get tired of it. They get tired of it. Even you don't even have to be the top in most places. Even in organizations, if you are the head of department, sometimes you just want to run from your department. You just want to hide. You have people that you can't find in the office, but they are there because they just want to have peace. From the team of just 5 people or 6 people, that's just office. Then you're now leading 500 people online. That will leave you like 1,000 DMs because of how inspired they are by your post. So when will the next one come? And they don't know that you are just tired. You really just want to sleep. But because you have to be an inspiration, you have to continue. So you will have to check yourself. Is this what I'm going in for? Yes, it's really nice. It's beautiful. It's a very lovely space. But it's you that will sleep with yourself at night when you off the light. And you have to check it. Is this worth it? Is this really what my life is about? So I had intended to end with this, but now I started with it. I don't know why, but I've started with it. The point is, if you know why you want to be visible, it's far easier. You can stay true to yourself. You will now not be talking about everything or jumping on every topic. You know why you even started this in the first place. And if you have just one person appreciate that post, if you have just one person appreciate that post, then you know you've touched one person. And you know you've achieved what you wanted to achieve because you checked it for yourself before you started. So I'm not one who would say, go online every day, post every day. It's good, the algorithm loves it. It will propagate what you're doing. But why do you do it? That should really be what drives you. Start with why. Simon Sinek has a book on that. just really check what drives you. It makes every other thing fall in place. Everything will make sense going forward after that. So I'm going to continue now with probably tips, storytelling tips, what digital PR is. So you can write notes and do all of that, but please just always check yourself. Start from the beginning. None of us asked, okay, maybe let me not assume. Did any of you by chance get the opportunity to ask to come here? I mean, as in to be born? Maybe there's somebody that like you specifically asked God that, you know they see me, I be stone. I want to come now. I want to go to earth. Did any of us have that chance? So none of us asked to be born. None of us asked to come to earth. None of us asked to be in Nigeria, specifically. Yes. None of us asked to be in Nigeria, you know. Yeah. Some of us feel like the angel was not very clear on his logistics path. He missed it. Because, can't he hear my English? Am I supposed to be here? You check him now. I don't know what happened, but why here? No problem. Why here? So, my point is, why I said that was, we didn't ask to be here, but we are here for a purpose. There's a reason why each and every one of us is here on this earth. I don't mean this room, but even in this room, there's a reason why we're here. And if we can find what that reason is, then life makes so much sense. One quick way to find, or one way that helps in knowing this is to know that purpose is not necessary. For me, what I have observed in my own life is that purpose is not necessarily one thing, attaining one title, becoming one thing. It is really being who you are meant to be now in the moment per time. Per time. That's what purpose is. Right now, I'm a mom. And so I'm living in purpose if I do my job as a mom and as a wife. And then a time will come when my boys will leave. And my purpose at that time may evolve. I may now be a full-time housewife. And so my purpose at that time will be to care for my husband or my family or whatever it is that is in my hand. So we need to understand that it's not one thing that you need to postpone your happiness for. It's who you are per time. And that should now influence how you now craft the stories you now need to tell now. So you don't have to pretend to be, fake it till you make it. I know they teach that you can fake it till you make it, but I'm sorry, I'm not in that school of thought. I feel like you should be authentic every time. Whether people accept you or not, just be true, because like I said, you and yourself will be on the bed alone at night. So you want to be honest with yourself. We have, just talking about alone at night, when I was in school in Germany, we had journalists who worked in war zones, crisis areas, that couldn't sleep at night anymore. Couldn't sleep at night anymore because of the stories they had to tell and how they had to be disconnected, because as a journalist, you had to be objective. And so you will see something that normally you would gather the person and beat and slap if it was real life. But because you're a journalist, you have to report very objectively that, no, this is allowed. People have the right to do it. And you have to just be distant. And then you get home and you have to really just check your own values because of your career. But that's a dream career. How many of us want to be on CNN? You know, like Aman Paul. It's a dream career, but sometimes I look at her and wonder how she's sleeping. Because it's a heavy weight. So imagine that that's my path, my dream. And I don't know the demons at that point. Then I get there and have all the fame. I've spoken to all the world presidents. And I cannot be true to the president and say what I really want to say to him. And I have to smile and say, you are doing a great job, Mr. President. Our people are amazing. I just wanted to ask one question about, the reforms in this aspect. How's that going? And you want to tell, what you really want to say is, God, you are not trying. Or you are lying. But you can't say that because, my career path is this. So I'm really trying to just paint a picture that if your big picture is to be on CNN or any of those things, that's not a big picture. You need to find a purpose beyond self. It has to be of value and of purpose, and one that inspires others to find purpose as well. And what really is it? It's peace of mind. Purpose is really peace of mind. Like, you are doing what you're doing, and it's not a chore. Yes, it's a lot of hard work, but there's peace. You are drained, but there's peace. That's critical. So now that we have all of this laid out, how do you now tell stories that get you noticed? If you have all of this figured out that we just talked about, this checking yourself, checking what matters most to you, because hey, if I become Aman Poor and now I have my own TV show on CNN or on Al Jazeera, and I'm known, and I've checked all of that, and I see that while I'm there, I'm not satisfied, then I have to find a purpose beyond myself. So when I find that, I now have to check what story I want to tell in this moment. Every experience that you all have had up until how you got into this building. For example, I jumped out from the car and ran because I thought I was late. Gideon traumatized me. He called me around 9. You're coming up in 24 minutes time. And I was eating akara. So I quickly downed it. Sweetheart, we're late. And we entered the car and ran through every red light, so I did not obey any traffic today. So you can give me a ticket later, but I did not obey anyone. And then I ran all the way here, got here. The people at the gate were being nice, greeting other cars that were passing, we're hunting for them, we're late. I just jumped and ran out. And I came in here and they told me, why did you run? It has not even started. Calm down. You know, I said that irrelevant story to say that was my experience and that's a story. That some of you found amusing. Some of you found irrelevant. At least now I know my real audience. Right? So my point is, every experience that you have, don't disdain. Each one of us are storytellers. You may not be able to tell the story like I do. You don't have to. Because what's the use becoming like me? Then we're all going to have a monotonous world. You should be able to tell your own story the way you want to. Your own way. I want to hear it stuttering. I want to hear it. I remember when we're doing voice, because part of our work was voiceovers. So I had to learn to pronounce things properly. I had to learn that it's not to say, I downloaded it. I'm trying to even get the bad word now, because I remember one of my producers would correct me. So it's not download, it's download. I'm like, okay. It's not Nigeria, it's Nigeria. God, did you guys know that? You didn't know, I've just taught you something now. But anyway, I had to learn how to pronounce this properly and speak and say things. And I remember one of the producers will get me into the voiceover room and will do the voiceover and want me to do it like her. I'll have to say the words like she would say it and put the energy like she would say it. So it will be Career Acceleration Summit. Like this, how she'll be shaking to say, career networking, skill building, workshops, get updates on insights and industry trends, like that life. And sometimes I felt like, well, I didn't feel it like that. It didn't come to me like that. But then I eventually became producer. I learned how to do voiceovers. I got better at it. Learned how to do, became producer. And I realized that each story had its voice. So I started finding voiceover. So if I had a script and I'm hearing it in my head, I now looked for the people's voice I felt could carry the story. So there was one person on my team who was traumatized by voiceover. She didn't want to go near it. And she's now the producer of the show. She was traumatized by it because when she went in the room, she could not shake like the other person. She never got it. And then I was able to bring her in and say, please deliver it like you will. Don't shake. Just be you. And her voice was what carried that story. And every time I listen to stories that have her voice in it, it gives me a different feel and a different experience. That's what we lose when you try to sound like me. And when I try to sound like you in telling stories. You can be inspired by me. I can be inspired by you. I just don't have to sound like you or say it like you. Okay? So in storytelling, you can read something online, hear someone's story, and be inspired by how they put the words together, how they used. I had someone speak recently in church, in a meeting at the Nigeria Economic Summit Group. She was moderating the session, and she said, "Oh, Honorable Minister, thank you so much for your response." And that lets us, and it's perfect because it lets us segue into the next thing. I like the way that came, segue. I'll be looking for where to use it, but no chance. So there's no way to segue into it. But I'm saying that I learned that, and I picked it, and I'm like, I'm going to use this word because I like the way it sounded. So I learned that. I did not have to go and check her. How did she stand? How did she do it? That's exactly so I can achieve her result, and maybe one day I will interview ministers. Really, no. It's who you are that will interview the ministers, just as you are. So authentic storytelling will always start with your own personal authenticity and you believing in yourself. That the kind of story you have to tell is pretty interesting, as it is. If I give us all the mic to say how we got to this place, unless you didn't pay attention to the story, there was one. The bolt who canceled on you 3 times. The one who picked your call and said, you go come out, oh. You'll come and meet me for front, oh. That's a story, that's an experience. That's something you can craft something around. And if we're on LinkedIn, we see a lot of people do that now, from the tiniest thing. So I lost my sister, no, I didn't lose her. I lost my sister-in-law, and this is what I learned from it. That's LinkedIn now. So anything. You know, I saw a bolt drop someone and sped off. And what came to me was Nigeria. And they'll write a full post on how, you know, people they do them. And with ChatGPT, it's far easier. It's not hard again. Just, things can happen. But I'm just saying that now with ChatGPT is easier, and that's why you need to be authentic. Because ChatGPT stories are flat and inhumane. So you must learn to tell your own stories as it is. So you can use the AI as a calculator, like what a calculator does for you. For example, you don't ask me 1,000 times 800. I won't do that math. It's very easy, but I won't do it. I will press it on my calculator, 1,000 times 800, and tell you the answer is very fast. Very fast. So why should I crack my head to do it? That's me, oh, forgive me. I'm like everybody in my house is a math whiz, except me. And it makes sense. The English is covering up for the maths. So, please. But I'm saying to you that you can use the artificial intelligence as a support, not as your full hope. I'm sure you all have heard that before now. But basically, stay authentic to your own story, any story that it is you want to tell. And there are 5 easy ways, or there are 5 things that I use for my own storytelling. Not all the time, I must confess. I first write from my heart, and I write nonsense. I just model everything on paper or on the desktop, wherever it is I'm writing. And the why I do that with such confidence is because I know that the first draft is not the draft. So don't kill yourself. That first write must not be it. The first draft is not it. So I write everything down there, and then I remember the 5 points for every story. You must have a hook. You must have something that brings the people in, whatever it is you want to say. It could start with a question. It could start with an exclamation. It could start with, maybe you shouldn't start with it was a cold, stormy night. Because that one, we have overused it. So we can try another beginning. So it's no cold, stormy night. But it could start with like something quite interesting, something strong, something that hooks the people in. He said, get out. And she hit me. The bullet pierced through my head. Like, we had stories like that on 700 Club that would always start with something that we would have to listen to those stories and find that hook point, something that will make people curious, you know, and want to keep going. So you should have that in your own story. And the bold guy said, get out. That was the response from the bold guy this morning. That's how your story starts. Let me use if I wanted to hook for the story I came in with today, it will be, Madam, they run now. And you're wondering, okay, why Madam, they run? Or I would now say from my own viewpoint, I am to be sweat dripping down my head as I ran with my bottle of cold water. You know, it could be any of those things, that whatever you think, because a hook at the end of the day, it just has to be captivating. It mustn't be the same. It mustn't be what? 10. Okay, good. It mustn't be exactly as you think it should be. Then the next thing is a conflict. What is the issue? So now you've hooked people. Okay, so why are you running? Why did the bold guy say get out? What's happening? What story you want to tell? Why did your mom send you at the age of 13 to deliver bread across states? If that was your hook, why? What was the conflict? What's the issue? So you should have a conflict. And then you should have a perspective, a shifting perspective. What alternative views were there? Sometimes there are none. Sometimes there are. You know, so you can have a different perspective. Maybe I had one this morning. My husband was in the car with me, so he had his own, and I could just add that my husband's viewpoint on how this morning's story for me came in. You can have that. All of that gives more credibility to the story you are telling. And then you have the climax. That's the 4th thing, the climax. And the climax is that the tension builds up to this. So I'm running now. You guys have now understood why I was running. And the idea was I didn't want to be late. So I climaxed to the point of, and I arrived in front of the venue. And then they say it has not started. So the anticlimax really just follows very quickly. But that's more like and the resolution with this morning's gist for me will be, I went to the green room and I greeted a lot of people and I had time to rest, catch my breath, and I'm glad I'm here. That's the story I could tell in that few minutes. But at the end of the day, I added one more thing to that, personal, and it's called a call to action. Let the 16 on your story be a call to action. Let it be something that you want people to do. If it's to learn a lesson from what you have just shared. If it's to, maybe next time, don't run. That will not be my call to action. Next time, calm down and call and ask again, have we started? Then I cannot take my time, So I could have, like I'm just saying that, let there be a call to action at the end of the day. Let people learn from your own experience, whatever it is you want them to learn. Now, how do I learn from something that is fake to you? It's the problem with storytelling. So if you really want to grow in your careers, if you're already in places where you work, or if you're trying to get in somewhere, if you're on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you are, where you put yourself out, or you have your own businesses that you push out doing what you do, please be authentic with your own story. Say it as it is for yourself. Say it as it is for yourself. Be honest to say this is where you're starting from, this is what we have, this is where we are, and this is where we're going. And let the call to action be simple. Very simple, shouldn't be complicated. Very simple things you want them to either learn from you, or something you want them to do, a website you want them to visit. Not necessarily having to tie wrapper and put powder on your face and say, buy from me. Or if you want to do that, good for you. If that's the story you want to tell, if that's how you want to be projected. But now, let it not be that. That's how you want to be projected. Then when you've not gotten and attained, you now show your real self. And then people call you what they used to call you when you were trying to climb. You'll not be offended at them calling you that. But that's what you portray. That's what we know you as. So why the change? And then that's why you begin to look like you're fake. And that's what happens with a lot of our celebrities. They begin to look like that. And I have, in this thing I've said about storytelling, I just mentioned platforms, right? Wherever you are, whether you are speaking to people on your LinkedIn, on your Instagram, or whatever it is, digital platforms, your authentic self is critical. And how to understand who your audiences are. Know who the people you're marketing to are. I know in every conversation you always hear that. If you're marketing to elites, then you know how they speak. But if you have to be fake to market to them, then I guess there are some people I feel like are born elitist. They can't fake it. It's just how they are. It's who they are. But if I now have to fake it, for example, I personally don't think I'm born to sell to elite, because I'll speak pidgin inside there. I will not just comport myself. And they like to be very bougie and I'm so disorganized in that. Like, I can't sell to them. So I can't do luxury apartments and will say, I can't even sell it. I can't sell it to them. I can't. It will not be me that will sell it. I will still come with a bolt if I want to. So you know how you come with executive car, borrow car, I will not borrow. If I even borrow it, I'll tell them. It's the first thing I will do when I enter that place. It's my cousin's car. Give me. So that's my own problem. The authenticity is maybe it's my problem. But I would rather be that and be with people that I can truly influence to be who they were meant to be, because they were created to be their unique selves, not to be something else. And so if you're born elitist, then please own it. You don't have to fake and be trying to be street. You don't have to be. We need you to sell to the elites. I'll just be a part of your business. I'll put my money inside. That's what I can do. So quickly, I'll round up with this. Public relations is really simply managing perceptions through relationships. It's just establishing relationships. Building and establishing and building, maintaining relationships through, like, managing how they perceive you through relationships. So in that managing perception is where sometimes the falsity shows up. The falsity shows up because we now want people to perceive us as this, because our hope is to be that. So we rebrand and repackage, but that's not who we authentically are. So basically, and the full story we're telling about getting noticed starts with knowing your why. Why do you want to be noticed? If you have that in check, then you can tell your authentic stories at every stage. And success will be defined for you by living in purpose per time. To be a tree now, to be wood for firewood, to be this, to be that, but to do it excellently well. And then to understand who your audiences are on the different platforms. Get to genuinely know them and care for them. It's not about you, it's about them. The stories you are sharing is not for you. Don't forget that. The stories you're sharing is not about you. It's not for you to be big. It's for others to learn something and to be better in the way they live their lives. So if you're genuinely concerned about people, then you'll be on your way to making a huge difference in their lives. Just be genuinely concerned and know your why. Don't fake it till you make it. Just be who you are, but be willing to grow where you are. Thank you.
Wow, 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 wow. Let's keep making it rain. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much. I'm sure I speak for everyone when I say we do not want it to end, right? Because it was really very relatable, especially with the storytelling. And there's something that stood out for me when she said your authentic self is critical.
Yeah.
Just be yourself. Every other person has been taken. So why do you want to be somebody else when you can be your authentic self? So I'll hand over now to my co-host, the beautiful, delectable Atinuke. Please, let's make it rain for her. Thank you.
Well done. Thank you. Thank you, Chidima. Thank you, everyone. So I'd like to recognize our amazing guests. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. Barrister and Mrs. Benjamin Welsi, it's good to have you in the house with us. Dr. Sholanke, it is good to have you with us. Dr. Idenyi Shiabu, it is good to have you with us. Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Akinwumi Akinola, it is good to have you with us. Thank you. Mr. Dotsun Ibironke, it is good to have you with us. Mr. and Mrs. Ume, it is good to have you with us. Mrs. Amina Jambo. I won't make the mistake. It's good to have you with us. Miss Tomi Oni and engineer Dr. Sheye Agumbiade, the husband to our very own convener. It is good to have you with us, sir. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you, thank you. And of course, this event would not have been possible. Is this place not looking beautiful?
Yeah.
Is it not conducive? Yes. And all of this was made possible because we had amazing partners and sponsors. So we just want to welcome them and thank them once again and recognize them. So FIRS, please let's just keep clapping as I recognize them. Thank you so much, FIRS. Thank you so much, NYSC. Thank you so much, Hello.TV. Thank you, Tiara Singh. Please let's keep making it rain so that when we call on them next time, they will come. Thank you, Studio 24. Thank you, City Gate Solicitors. Thank you, Perfect Trust. Thank you, Masterminds. Thank you, Olis Botanicals. Thank you, Image Classic. Thank you, Witty Minds. Thank you so much. Thank you. Because of you, we are here. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chidima. Okay, are we ready for our next speaker? I don't think people are ready. This next speaker. Even myself, I'm going to go and sit down and carry my notes up. So our next speaker will be speaking on the topic, ethical leadership for sustainable career success and commanding the room by mastering the art of confident public speaking for your career growth. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be reading the profile of my amazing speaker to you today. I think I'm like, I don't know how to speak to the elite. Sorry, I apologize. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is Barrister Benjamin Wesley. He's a seasoned legal practitioner and business leader with over 26 years of experience, spanning corporate governance, entrepreneurship, and leadership. He began his career in 1998 as senior counsel at a leading Abuja law firm, rising to head of chambers within 5 years, and co-founded Cocoon Publishing Limited, publishers of Nigeria Property News magazine. In 2025, he joined the Total Nigeria PLC as legal advisor, managing over 300 franchises and governmental relations nationwide. He later co-founded Madison Consult, advising multinationals in oil and gas and infrastructure in financing, and has since served as CEO of Rehab One Limited and on several boards as director, legal advisor, and governance expert. Barrister Benjamin is also a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Debt Recovery and the Institute of Professional Managers of Nigeria, a member of the NBA, IBA, and British Nigeria Chamber of Commerce. He is a John Maxwell certified coach, speaker, trainer with intentional training in governance, system thinking, and anti-corruption. Currently, he is the company secretary of the Northeast Development Commission, that's the NEDC, bringing together his deep expertise in law, business, and leadership to drive impact. Ladies and gentlemen, with a rounding sound of applause, can we welcome to the stage Barrister Welsi. Good to have you, sir.
Good afternoon. Is it afternoon already? It's still morning. Okay, I think, unlike Omo, I can stand behind the microphone. Can I? But I'd rather stand here. It is such a privilege to be here today, to be in the presence of greatness. And that's all of you. To be in the presence of people who own today and own tomorrow. You may not realize it, but today and tomorrow belongs to you. Yesterday, probably for people like me who have, I'm still trying to count the number of black hair on my hair. By the way, I used to have pitch black hair. One of the reasons my wife fell in love with me, put your hands together for my wife, Ann Wesley. Every now and then she'll flash a picture of my face and say, what happened now? He used to be like this, my hair. Nigeria happened to me. Okay, that's on a very light mode. But I want to thank the convener of this summit, a very, very dear sister, very personal sister to me, someone who I have divine connection with, Mrs. Folake Agumbiade. Her dear husband is in the house. Please put your hands together for him. She is multifaceted. I mean, if you see her in different rooms, she's different personalities. And by the way, that's how we all are, which is one of the things that Omar was speaking about. We have different versions of ourselves. She's one person when she's with her husband. She's another person when she's with her children. She's one person when she's on her job, by herself on the computer writing alone. She's another person when she's engaging with one colleague. She's a different personality when she meets her girlfriends from her high school. And when she's in church, when she's worshiping, she's a totally different person. And it is all right. You would think that she had a multiple personality disorder. But you know, that's how God created us. Because he didn't create us in silos to live alone. He created us to live with other people. And in order to be able to connect with other people, we have to be able to have different expressions that can connect with that person. For instance, if I see my brother who's wearing that cap and I say, Assalamu alaikum, the first thing you will feel is comfort. I know this person, correct? The first thing, if I say, Assalamu alaikum, can I love you? And you'll be like, this is a brother. Automatically, you'll open up to me. And if I say, Egbonba Oni, you will relax. Do you understand what I'm saying? So she's like that. She has 1,000 expressions, all of them awesome. That's why she has too much energy, hyper energy. Israel was talking about it the other day while he was anchoring one of the online programs. And I mean, the energy, he said, can you feel her energy? I could feel it. I was in Maiduguri, but I was feeling the energy on my laptop when I was listening to that, that engagement. By the way, wonderful engagement this past 5 weeks. Fireside chat. How many of you have participated in the fireside chats? Awesome. Did you learn something there? You know, one of the things that has happened in this summit that I deduced from the beginning is, as a matter of fact, if we didn't come here today, the objective of this summit has been achieved. Going through everything that went on at the fireside chats, it was just blazing, it was burning, everything was beautiful. You know, mindset came out clearly. Integrity came out clearly. Consistency came out clearly. These are things that, and then of course, progressive self-development. Is that correct? For those of you who followed. Okay, no one ever thought, I didn't think it myself, that a barrack boy like me, typical barrack boy, I didn't attend nursery school. This is how I wrote my exam to go to primary school. You will not understand. They will just ask you to put your hand over your head, and if your arm over your head can touch your ear, you were qualified to enter primary 1. That's how I entered primary 1. So for those of you who went to pre-K, who went to kindergarten, I learned nursery rhymes when I was in primary 5. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. I learned it in primary 5. My little boy Joseph, who is 4 years old now, is learning them in pre-K, but I learned it in primary 5. But you know, how did a barrack boy in the bushes of Ojo Military Cantonment in Lagos rise to where he is today, Commission Secretary, Legal Advisor, having worked as legal advisor to a multinational company, the 7th largest oil company in the world today? How did I get there? I remember every day how my father used to hold me by the hand. He was walking in the community. My father would stop and greet everybody. I didn't understand it. He would greet the high and the low. Compassion, everybody who has served understands who RSM is. My father was RSM in Ojo Military Cantonment, the largest military formation in Africa. He was RSM, so he was the father of the barracks. You know, on Monday morning, he was not smiling, Samanja with his long beard and everything. You know that look. But when he came back home, my father was a gentleman. My father will walk the streets and greet everyone, and he will stop and spend 5 seconds with you. He will stop and ask you about the children. He will stop and have a conversation with you. And I was walking and I was learning. I didn't even know I was learning until I found that growing up, I can't pass by you and not say hello. It's not possible. And if I'm walking with my wife, she knows. It will slow. I will stop. Hey, how are you? I will give a side hug. How you doing? You're looking beautiful. By the way, Barrister Obi, put your hands together for her looking delectable. Thank you for coming. I cannot pass you by and not say hello. Now, I didn't know that I was learning a very critical life skill. I didn't know, because no classroom would teach you that, to stop and say hello to anybody. No classroom will stop and see someone who is sitting down, looking down and out, and stop and say, are you all right? No classroom teaches you that. No classroom teaches you to say, you're looking beautiful today. This color suits you so well. When I went to secondary school, I found out in secondary school, everybody liked Wesley. Why did everybody like Wesley? Wesley likes everybody. It didn't matter your height, your color, your language. It didn't matter whether you were smart in your class or you were bringing up the rear in the class. It didn't matter to me. As long as you were a human being, I would engage with you. And that thing rubbed off on me so hard that I began to greet people, and that's how I began to meet people. People that were outside my space, mentally, intellectually, socially, culturally. I was engaging with people who, guys who did nursery school, unlike me, who didn't do nursery school. They went to the primary school abroad, finished, and then came back to Nigeria, and they're speaking Funel, like she said. For those of us in the barracks, you know how barrack boys are. Pidgin English, now we sabi. Pidgin. In fact, they used to say barrack boys would not end up doing well in life. So how many barrack boys there? Anybody? Raise your hand now. You can already form my hand. We have arrived here. We're here in spite of. So you should clap for yourself. So I learned how to connect with people. And I learned one critical, valuable lesson. The most important asset that God has put on this earth is not gold and silver in the ground. It's not uranium, it's not lithium, it's not diamonds, it's not any of those things. It is these beautiful eyes that are looking at me. This is the most valuable asset. And if you do not have the time, you do not have the presence of mind and the consciousness to connect with human beings. Now, I don't care how high you think you will rise in life. I don't care how much money you make. And that's why Omar was speaking, that you will arrive at the end of your career and find out that it's not fulfilling. You get all the degrees, you take all the courses, you travel everywhere in the world, you're at the peak of your industry, but you go back home at night and you can't sleep. We have too many people like that. And that's why you hear people on Wall Street jumping off 25-story buildings. Why? You hear of actors who have made all the money and fame, and suddenly the man overdoses and he dies. He's dealing with depression. Why? Because, like you said, purpose is not anything that is far from you. Purpose is actually you. You are the purpose. And you express that every single day. You wake up in the morning today, you take akamu. That's the purpose for that day. You wake up the next day, you feel like taking spaghetti bolognese. That's the purpose for that day. You express purpose every single day. It is not a destination. It is present with you. You are the purpose. Because you're the carrier of dreams and visions and ideas. You are the purpose. It's not outside of you. And that's why you will never find purpose that you're looking for outside of you. And that's why it is critical to know yourself. She talked about why. Escalating it. Who am I? That's the question I'm asking you. You need to ask yourself, who am I? I am not Omo. I like how Omo expresses herself. I like how, fluid she is on the microphone. I like how, she has passion for her work. I like that. But that's where it stops. That's Omo. I can't have two Omos. Mrs. Wesley and I can't be the same thing. It'll be boring. Mrs. Wesley is very feisty. She will snap in a second. She does not have tolerance and long suffering. She will tell you as she is feeling it. Mrs. Wesley will tell me, what kind of stupid thing you do like this? And her elder sister will say, why are you disrespectful to your husband? And she say, no, you don't understand me and my husband. My husband knows that this is not disrespect. He knows that I'm just expressing how I'm feeling now. Say, no, you can't tell your husband stupid. How can you tell your husband stupid? I know that she didn't mean that I'm stupid. That's how she wanted to express it that minute. And I got the message, and we're good. But Mr. Wesley will look at you, and he will smile, and he'll walk away. Or tomorrow he'll call you and hug you and say, are you okay? I may not respond to you today if you snap. I can come back tomorrow, and then I'll talk to you when you're calm. And then you yourself, you go now to us, say, I've been waiting happen yesterday. No verse, as I they come, the bolts cancel on me 3 times, rain come begin fall. I'll say, oh, kite these bolt people. And I'll understand with you. Mrs. Wesley does not have that energy. She will deal with it, and finish. Okay? What am I saying? There's a uniqueness that you have that is your signature on earth. It is that signature that employers are looking for. It is that signature that opportunities are looking for. Nobody wants this. They want something different. You hear that there are no jobs. No, sir. I teach people in my office, when do you want to sack your boss and employ a new boss? That's what I teach. When do you want to engage a new organization, not an organization recruiting you? Organizations need you. You don't know that? If I have a dream and I want to build a very big company, am I going to build it myself? I need people. So it is an employee's market, not an employer's market. It's just that you've been taught wrongly. You think that it's an employer's market. It's not an employer's market. Every one of us has dreams of doing great things. And when we escalate those things and we amplify them, we need people to be able to help us carry those dreams. Correct? At that time, you will now look for recruiters to headhunt. You look for people who have particular skills. So it behoves on you to be able to find what your signature is, and you find out by knowing who you are, and then knowing your why. Why am I here? And your why doesn't have to be like mine, to be an aeronautic engineer. And there's no why that is more superior to another why. We all have different whys, and that's why I'm taller than all of you here. And you can't do anything about it. But it doesn't make you less of a human being. It doesn't make you less valuable. It doesn't mean you're not going to attain your highest dreams in your life. Correct? Some of you started our life with a silver spoon in your mouth. Me, like I tell people growing up in the barracks, we started with no spoon at all. Now, how we take the chop rice. I remember going to birthday parties. 2 hands. Once they used to bring the rice in a big tray. Large tray, fill it with rice, put stew on top with the meat. While they are saying, okay, no fighting, we were just positioning and waiting. No fighting, people should eat slowly and gently, one at a time. Nobody's listening to what she's saying. The moment they drop the tray on the ground, you just dive in with both hands. Scoop what you can scoop, bring it to your chest, and take off. If meat stay inside, thank God. If meat's not there inside, at all, not bad. At least you got some rice. Do you understand? But we all didn't come under the same circumstances. We all didn't come having the same opportunities. We all didn't come under the same or very conducive or the same social circumstances. But it does not diminish the value that every one of us has inside of us. Every single person that God has created has a specific assignment. Your DNA is separate from everyone. Your purpose is different from it. And that's why God created you. Because if God does not do photocopy. If he makes one copy and this one copy is sufficient for the entire world, God will just reel it out. But he created you separate from me. It means there's something that I cannot do that you can do. Is that correct? Does that make sense to you? So you need to find, who am I? Why am I here? Why do I feel the way I feel? Why do I express the way I express? Why am I different from the other person? We are different. We're not competing. We're complementary. Do you understand what I'm saying? Your different means more. I have me, I have Mrs. Wesley. That's more. So if my strategy fails, we will adopt her strategy in the house. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you have yourself and other people are different, you can utilize the skills and the differences from other people to, push your dream forward. I'm supposed to talk to you about ethical leadership and what? Public speaking to enhance your career. But the summary I want to give you is you need to have personal values. What are your values as an individual? I work in the public service and I work with sharks. You know that. Public service all over the world, not just in Nigeria, is a pool of sharks. People who have personal interest as against public interest. And all of my life, most of my experience is in private sector before I joined the public service about 7 years ago, and it was a rude shock for me. But because I had already found who I was and found my why, I knew what my place was in the position that I occupied. And I would not shift my position for anybody. But one of the things that has given me great success is the backstory that I gave you. My ability to connect with people, my ability to relate with people, my ability to engage with people at whatever level you are. The security men in my office know me as well as my bosses know me. My driver, I have conversations with him. How are you? How are your children? Are they in school? What class are they? Oh, he will tell me the child said this and the child, I will have a tete-a-tete, man-to-man talk with him, not boss and subordinates. The cleaner in my office, I have conversations with him. The ladies who sometimes bring lunch to my office, I have conversations with them. How are you? What did you study? What are you doing? Do you have a master's? What do you intend to do with this? Have you considered X, Y? I will have conversations because the most valuable assets you will ever have are people. And I have used this to be able to connect with everyone that is around me at their different levels, and I've been able to achieve what I want to achieve. So tomorrow, if I need anything done, I have the support of everyone in my office, from the guy at the gate to my boss at the top. And one of the things I have learned to do, that my father taught me from moving around and talking to people, is serving people who you think have no needs. You think the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has no need. It'll shock you. I remember one time I traveled with my bishop a long time ago, maybe 20 years ago. We went somewhere to Lagos to visit some very rich man, extremely rich man. I was working in Total at the time. Bishop flew in, and I met him at the airport, and we went to visit this man. Do you know what we took to the man? Kilishi. 10,000 naira worth of kilishi into a multi-millionaire's mansion. When we gave him this pack of kilishi, the man started jumping like a 4-year-old. And I was wondering, he said, look, nobody ever gives him anything because people think he has everything. He said, this kilishi, madam, take it upstairs to my room, put it in my fridge, lock it. Nobody should touch this kilishi. I learned a very valuable lesson. That no matter what a man has, there's something he needs. And I make it my duty to find what the man needs at whatever level. That's my point of entry. So when I meet big people and have conversations, I don't have high-tech conversations, sir. I start with, sir, you look very good. This color fits you so well. I have taken the conversation out of his honorable minister space. Do you get what I'm saying? I've moved him from honorable minister to a man. And his guard is down. And he says, this is my wife that chose the color. The conversation is moving. How are they doing? How many children do you have? My son. And he begins to talk. And he opens up. And my son, I say, how old is he? He says 15 years old. He's 15. He's as tall as you. Yeah, he's even taller than me. And then I enter another room. You know me, Barrister Obi. I say, does he play basketball? Say, my son, he plays in college. I say, no, I used to be a basketball player myself. The conversation expands and expands and expands. And by the time I'm done, the guy is saying, let me take your number. It is the minister who's asking me for my number. He's asking me for my number because I've touched the things that are most important to him. What am I teaching you? I'm teaching you how to move the battle of life to your space. You cannot come to me as a lawyer who has just been called to the bar, 3 years experience, and think you want to compete with me who has been at the bar for 27 years. But there's a space you can move me into that we can discuss as equals. You have to know who you are. That's how you will know what your space is and how to move me into your space and have discussions as equals and to be able to get what you want from me. A lot of you have bright ideas, very bright ideas, but you don't know how to communicate those ideas. And that's why it is important to know all the versions of yourself and then to know conversation starters with people so that you can know which version of yourself can enter into the room and have a conversation with this person that they can listen to you. You may be looking for them to look at your proposal. But if you come and say, sir, we have a proposal, it's going to move this. No, you are talking figures. No. When you enter the man's office, have a sense of presence and awareness. When you look at his table, there's a picture of a wife, or a picture of a son, or an award he received. Start conversations around those things. Start conversations around those things based on who you are. Like Mrs. Agumbi Ade and some of us, brother, Barrister Israel, some of us sing. I sing. I used to be a choir director. That's one version of me. I used to be a movie director. In fact, I used to write scripts, I used to edit scripts, and then I became a movie director. So if I want to have a conversation with Omo, and I start talking and she begins to talk, recording, editing, that's the room I'm going to enter. And see, I will get her attention when I talk about things that are important to her. Express them. That's one version of myself. So you need to know who you are. You need to know your why. And then you need to know how to bring the conversation or the battle into that space so you can have equality with that person and get them to listen to you not on their high horse but on the same level. It does not matter who they are, how high they are. As long as you can speak to the thing that is important to them, they will listen to you and they will give you attention and they will come down to your level and you'll be able to achieve what it is you want. So this thing will give you 4 things. It will give you visibility. Visibility is not for showing off. It's showing up so that you can have a strategy to be able to achieve what you want. Visibility is actually strategy. So show up in your different expressions. I have to go back to you, Barrister Obi. You see Barrister Obi? If she lives here now, if you see her in the evening, you'll not recognize her. It's another expression. That's for the purpose of what she's going to do in the evening, where she's going to go to. Am I correct? And even me, as you're seeing me now, when I leave here now, I'm going to change. I'm going to basketball court. If you see me, if you see my swag on the basketball court, you will not believe that it's Barrister Wesley. I used to move like this. Do you understand? Because we don't have CEOs and big men there. The space is a different space, and I need to express a different expression there. Do you understand? So know your different expressions. Excuse me. Know your different personalities. It is a gift it is not a defect. It is a gift. It is not a defect. Your different personalities and how they express differently. And then have presence and have awareness when you enter spaces. And then love people. Some of you don't talk to people. You enter Keke Napep, you enter a bus together, you don't have conversations. You're flying, you're sitting next to someone, you won't introduce yourself and have conversations with them. Why? That's your next opportunity right there. Love people. Opportunities are invested in people. And that's how you mine those opportunities. Have conversations, introduce yourself, talk about the things that are important to you. And listen when people are talking, they express who they are through what they say. And then have empathy. Observe people's faces. Someone is not looking nice. Don't come and start talking figures and numbers. Even if you don't know them. I was traveling from my flight yesterday. The air hostess. Her eyes were looking bloodied. And I'm going to close with this. Her eyes were looking bloodied, and then when we were about to take off, she went to take her seat. She leaned forward, and she started sobbing. I don't know her name till now. But, her knee was close to me, so I just put my hand on her knee. For 10 seconds. And she sobbed and sobbed and sobbed and sobbed and sobbed. And then she finished, did the in-flight service, and I didn't have a conversation with her. When I was ready to go, I came close to her and I held her hand. I said, "Are you okay?" She said, "Thank you very much. I said, "You're going to be all right." And I left. She will never forget. That's the last thing I want to. Make yourself unforgettable. When people meet you, let them forget your name. Let them forget your CV. Let them forget the grammar you speak. Let them forget your expensive attire. But let them never forget how you made them feel. Let them never forget. They will look for you. It may be 5 years, it may be 10 years down the line. They will look for you. Make yourself unforgettable. Because those are matters of the heart. And they would die for you tomorrow. So find out who you are. Find out what your why is. Find out the various expressions of who you are and deploy them in the environment that you find yourself, and make sure that your signature is imprinted in the hearts of people. And your career will soar. Beyond your career, you will have a fulfilling and a happy life. Thank you very much.
Another round of applause for the amazing and unforgettable Barrister Benjamin Wesley. Did he make an impression on you? Yes, if not for anything, his height, his confidence, and he can speak English very well. Leonard Senior, sir, it's an honor to have you grace the stage of the Career Acceleration Summit. We truly got a lot of value. The word ensure you are unforgettable is going to stay with me, not only within this summit, but I'll keep it with me everywhere that I go. I've taken so much away from this summit, from the first 2 sessions, including the keynote address we had earlier, and I'm convinced that you're getting value. Are you getting value? Has it been worth your while? Thank you so much. Once again, I'd like to say a very big thank you to all our friends, all our guests, all our partners, all our sponsors, everyone who has contributed in one way or the other to make this summit a resounding success. We're truly grateful. I'd like to inform every one of us that we have exhibitors in the foyer on your way out of the auditorium. We ask that you please patronize them. We ask that you please make your way into any of those booths to not just buy from them, but to also interact with them and find out what opportunities there are that exist in the space that we're in right now. It would shock you the amazing possibilities that exist in this place. Don't miss out on the amazing things that are going on in here. Just a few minutes earlier, I met a young lady named Joy. And I asked, my name is Israel. I'm a lawyer. I'm a singer. I'm a trainer. I'm selling myself. Oh, should I continue? I have a whole lot more to say. So she told me, and I'm an architect. I'm like, okay, I know an amazing architect, a very beautiful one in the city of Abuja, and I would love to introduce her to you. And in a short while, Joy had the opportunity of meeting a career professional in the same field who has had years of experience that can help her accelerate our career journey. That is why we're here. Make sure you connect with someone. You have the privilege of having in the room captains of industry, great thought leaders in here. Don't miss out on this opportunity. And that conversation is going to lead me into the next thing we have on our agenda, which is our breakout session. You don't want to miss out on this. It promises to be a phenomenal time. We have 4 amazing panelists who will be handling respective breakout sessions. Yes, I've just been advised to also mention to everyone that this event doubles as the book unveil of our convener's latest book. It's the 6th book she's ever written, and trust me, every one of those books are bestsellers. Now, the one we're launching today is tagged, who can tell me the name? Help me level up. A round of applause for yourselves. Fantastic. The book is titled Help Me Level Up. I've gone through the manuscript, and trust me, it's a book you want to have in your library. So right after the breakout session, we'll have a short break just to stretch our legs and to just interact, to connect, to visit the exhibition stand and check for 1 or 2 things that they have in there, and to find out what opportunities that exist in those industries. We also have our partner in here, Studio 24. They came in here with an entire studio where you can take a professional headshot at a discounted rate. We have a lot of products and a lot of exhibitors in this room. We also have the privilege of having the partnership of Elo.cv, our partner from the diaspora, who are providing 500 participants with free domain names at your name for your CV, using the power of AI to leverage and to put together your beautiful story, which will make you attractive to those who need your services and who need your product. So you might want to walk up to any of the volunteers that you see, or walk up to me after this session, after the breakout session, so you can get more details about it. We have a detailed video that will also play for you to understand how you can take advantage of this opportunity. The first cohort session, which we'll be holding on this side of the auditorium, this side where I'm pointed to, that is to my left, I presume you're right, we'll be navigating career pivot, and that will be taken graciously by Lillian Ogazi. We have her in here. Please, can you put your hands together for her? We do appreciate you. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. So if you are in the middle of a career transition and you're looking to pivot, this segment or this breakout session on this side is for you. Navigating career pivots, building a career that inspires change, and navigating career pivots without losing momentum. If that is what you are about in this season of your life, this breakout session is one you don't want to miss. The second breakout session will be that of Dr. Idei Shaibu, who is also here with us. He's our coin partner at Katzin Consult, and we're so happy to have you here with us. Can you please give him a round of applause? He will be speaking to us on the topic, the psychology of money. Now, I'm going to stand at the doorway of that class, and I'm going to make sure it is not overcrowded, because I know it's one class practically everyone will want to jump into, but we ask that we please even out all the classes so we can engage, we can interact sufficiently, and we can have ample time to get value from all that our facilitators have to share. This second cohort will be holding right close to that TV, which is close to the door. That's the segment that is very close to the door, will be that of Dr. Idei Shaibu, the psychology of money, investing for beginners and mid-level professionals, turning your salary into assets, the psychology of money and a mindset, and how mindset affects your wealth. We also have in-house with us an amazing behavioral insights lead and psychologist. I'm talking about none else than Mr. Akinwumi Akinola. He'll be speaking to us about behavioral insights for career growth. I just called you a psychologist now, sir. He's the Behavioral Insights Lead at the Policy Innovation Center. We're so glad and delighted to have you here with us. Thank you for being a part of us at the Katzin faculty and being a part of our family. It will be taking his cohort on that extreme, very close to the door where the beautiful lady who is looking at me with that glasses is. She just smiled. I got you to smile. Its topic is behavioral insights for career growth. The psychology of success. See why I call you a psychologist now? The psychology of success. Behavioral insights for career growth. You want to grow your career. What are the behavioral insights that will help you grow your career? And the last but not the least will be the cohort of our convener, the amazing Mr. Folake Agunbiyade. The theme and the topic for our own cohort will be Help Me Level Up. Practical tools for career acceleration from a psychologist and behavioral scientist perspective. All of these sessions will be amazing. For the next 30 minutes, we'll be breaking into these respective cohorts. We ask that you please keep an open mind, keep your notepads, keep your tabs open, and make sure you connect with someone. So the first cohort will be here. That will be that of Mrs. Lillian Ogazi. Over here, we'll have Dr. Idei Shaibo. Over there, we have Mr. Akinwumi Akinola. I'm hoping we can have that of Coach Folake Agunbiyade in here. For all our guests, we would ask that those who are not facilitating one session or the other, or if you would not want to remain in any of the breakout session, there is a green room that's been prepared for you to just receive you and to make you feel comfortable. Right after the break, we're going to return for the book unveil of Mrs. Agunbiyade's latest book. You don't want to miss it. I'd like to recognize the presence of Coach Sam Obafemi and his dear wife. We're so happy, grateful, and delighted to have you join us. Thank you very much for being here. I can see Barrister Obi as well of Boss Lady Law. She's known as Boss Lady Law. You're most welcome. Please, can you give her a round of applause? You're most welcome, ma. We appreciate you. Auntie Etima Ome and our dear husband, we have you here as well. Thank you so much for being here with us. Auntie Anatu Aliyu, architect Anatu Ali. She's my sister, so I call her Auntie Anatu. Architect Anatu, you're welcome. Thank you so much to all our amazing guests and friends who have come to grace the occasion. I will return after the break to recognize other dignitaries who we have in here. And before I drop this microphone, we have the chairman of the board of directors of Catting Consult, the husband of the convener of the Career Acceleration Summit, the amazing Dr. Oluwaseye Agunbiyade. Please, can you put your hands together for him? We appreciate you. That's our board chairman. He's the one making things happen. We appreciate you a lot. Thank you for the support that you give to our convener and CEO to do the great work that she does. We're truly grateful for the gift that you are. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask that you please rise and let us move into our respective cohorts. Cohort 1 is here. Cohort 2 close to the door. Cohort 3 close to the other door. And cohort 4 will be right here. Let's break out very quickly for the next 30 minutes. And let's circle back after that to go into our lunch break, and then we return for the book unveil. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And please don't forget to connect. Don't forget to connect. Cohort 1, again, will be looking at the topic, navigating career pivots. You are in a season of your life, you are in a career transition season, and you're looking to pivot. Cohort 1 is for you. Cohort 1. Yes, navigating career pivots. Cohort 1 to my left. Cohort 2 is very close to the door. That's Dr. Idei's session, The Psychology of Money. The Psychology of Money, investing for beginners and mid-level professionals and entrepreneurs. If you want to find out how to make your money work for you, that is the cohort to go. So cohort 1 is here. Navigate. Oh, I can see a lot of connection. I can see the room is so warm. I love the atmosphere. Cohort 3 is over there. That is by the amazing Mr. Akinwumi Akinola. And we'll be speaking on the topic, behavioral insights for career growth. What do I need to do? What habits do I need to inculcate? What do I need to do in addition to what I'm doing currently to level up in my career? And cohort 4 on this side will be that of Coach Folake Agunbiyade, who will be taking us on the topic, Help Me Level Up, Practical Tools for Career Acceleration from a psychologist and behavioral scientist perspective. So that we can maximize our time, I ask that we settle into our teams very, very quickly for the next 30 minutes. Facilitators, you have just 30 minutes. Please let us make the most of the time that we have and let us do a great work. Facilitators, please assume positions and let us begin our respective sessions. Thank you so much. To our guests and our very important personalities who are here, we ask that you please make your way to the green room where you would relax a bit before we return for the next session. I'll be back in a short while. Thank you so much. One, I hope, I hope we're all settled in.
Hello, hello, hello.
Okay. And then from there, I moved to digital. I started, putting things online, curating SEOs, trying to make whatever story I'm telling to go far. And that was how I went from being a broadcast journalist on TV to doing print, to doing radio and digital, back to TV, and I was done. So I left media, I've left journalism, and now I'm into communications. Now, why did I tell this story? To tell you that it is very possible to move from different career paths, doing different things, and be good at it. When we started, Ms. Falaka said something that you can know it all and be a master at all, but you have to be a specialist at one. And one thing I knew that I was good at was telling stories, which was the connection between all my career paths. So I stuck to that, and I kept on growing. So we're going to be talking about navigating career pivots. Now, one important thing is, I call it the nudge, understanding the nudge, and understanding when it's time to move. Now, I would describe a career nudge as that inner moment, that moment where you feel like there's more out there, there's more I want to do. Where I am at this point is not where I want to be. There's more. I want to see more. I want to do more. I feel like I can express myself better somewhere else. And how do you identify that nudge? Is when you're not satisfied. It's not being greedy. You're not just satisfied where you are. You feel like you could do more when you leave where you are. It's also, one way to identify it is where you realize that you celebrate more than those little wins. Yeah, you got a congratulation in the office, but it could be more than that. You deserve more than just that congratulation. You deserve more opportunity to do better. And there's also that thought of fear and excitement at the same time in your heart. Now, when I knew I was done with journalism, that was sometime last year, I knew there was more. I knew I could speak. I knew I could tell stories, but I was tired of telling stories in the comfort of the studio. But I was so scared. I was afraid. I was like, what if I get a job to be a communication specialist somewhere and I don't get it? What if I cannot do it? What if I'm not good at it? But then again, there was also that, what if I get there and I excel? So there's that fear and excitement that intertwines together. That's when you know that it's time to move. That's the nudge. And when you feel that nudge, darling, act on it because it's time to move. Now, let's first of all understand what a career pivot is. Now, I would describe a career pivot as, it's not a restart. The fact that you're leaving from one career path to another is not a restart, but I'll define it as a strategic redirection. So you're using your existing skills into a new way or a new space. So you're not starting over. You're planning. You're taking careful, detailed planning. It's strategic. You can't just wake up and decide you want to pivot. Yes, you can, but you have to plan. It has to be detailed, step by step, because you're leveraging on the skills you have where you are at the moment to serve you when you get to your next point. And now, there are three types of pivots. You have the industry pivot, which is like, what I did, moving from from journalism to corporate communications. For other industries, you could have from accounting to banking and finance or to economics. There are so many other, within the same industry though, moving from one industry, within the same industry, one role to another. That is industry pivot. And then you also have the role pivot, where you're staying in the same field. So you could move from product manager to an actual manager or product producer. You could move from a producer to a manager, but you're just rather upgrading and accelerating, but you're still within the same skill. And then the final one is the purpose pivot. I would say that is where I am right now, where I'm trying to align my career with a bigger purpose, which is what we said, understanding the why. At this point, I would say I'm at the point where I know that there's a lot more I can offer the world beyond sitting in the corporate space. And it happened really quickly. It's quite short because I just got into the corporate space properly, and I'm getting to realize that I could do more, and I want to do more. So that is the purpose pivot. But all of them are all hinged on the same thing, which is leveraging on the skills you have. And the goal of a career pivot isn't starting all over or restarting. It's all about focus or refocusing your momentum into those skills that you have and leveraging on them in the new place you found yourself or you're trying to pivot into. Moving on now, let me share my pivot story, which is how we first started. I spoke about how I moved from TV to print to digital to online digital, back to TV again, and now I'm into communications. Now, one thing that has aligned through it all is storytelling. The ability to tell stories, the ability to write scripts, the ability to have critical thinking. Because to tell stories, like Omo said, it's your story and it's your story to tell. But when you're telling a story about a brand or an establishment, you have to understand their story to tell their story. So it all involves critical thinking, deep research, reading and understanding. So we get to all of that. So when I moved from TV to print, I found myself in a consulting firm at the moment where I am their brands and communications manager. And I just applied. You know, I believe that I was done being a journalist. I could be a media person, but in a different field. So I took time out. I took courses. We're going to talk about learning and how you learn. So I took courses and I applied for the job. I got in there, walked in with confidence, and I spoke to them. All I told myself was, these people should not just allow me be in the same room with them. Because if I'm in the same room with them, they will give me this job, even if I have zero experience on it at the moment. And I did that, and I got the job. And that's how I started appearing and, you know, showing up. So all it showed me was one thing. The skills you've gathered through the years in whatever field you have doesn't disappear. But it's meant for you to now leverage on it, build it, and make sure it shows up for where you're trying to pivot to or where you're trying to move to. So the things that I know that, you know, worked for me were communications, PR, storytelling, strategic communications, critical thinking. These are all the parts that worked for me that I leveraged on. So before I move on into the framework, the actual framework of what we're talking about, I'm glad we all have our writing pads, and this is not for me to see, but this is for you to help you when you get home. So write down on your paper, you know, very brief. I want you to write down 3 skills you have now at the moment that you know you have, just 3 of them. And right beside it, I want you to write down where you can apply these skills to, either through industry pivot, role pivot, or purpose pivot. So I want you to write down those 3 skills. It's for your own use, build on it. But those 3 skills you feel you have now that will be relevant for you, that are like a transferable currency for you when you want to pivot or when you're ready to pivot. So please, I'll just allow you to do that. So an example will be if you're into research, you know that your skills for research could work in a consulting firm or, you know, a research institute. If you're into communications like me, advocacy, storytelling, PR. So those 3 skills, for me, I know what I had was storytelling, branding, and digital knowledge. And I know that those 3 skills were going to apply in any firm because of the fact that I came from the backdrop of being a journalist. So do we all have that written down? Do we all have it written down? Okay, so it's for your own use and for your own reflection. That is for you. I'm not going to take a look at it. I'm not going to ask you what it is. But if you have and you can identify those 3 skills that you know would be transferable, would be that currency for you to move to a different career path that is either in the same industry or within the same role, or that would, for a purpose pivot, that would push your purpose further, then I believe we're good on that. If you can identify them, then you're one step in your trying to navigate, you know, your career pivot without losing momentum. That's a very important part of it. Now, I'm going to give us steps at which you pivot without losing momentum. But before I do that, I'm a mom of 2 boys. I started having my kids very early. I'm a mom of 2 boys, and I started having my kids very early, in the middle of my career. So for every time I gave birth, I was so scared that I will not be relevant when I go back into the industry. Because you have a whooping 4 or 5 months at home, looking after the baby, nursing and all. So for every time I gave birth, I was worried that if I go back, I would not have the skill to fit in. But there's one thing I always did. I always took my time out to learn and re-update myself. Pick up, let me know where they stopped when I left. Let me know where the gap is, because these Gen Zs are not smiling. So if you're going there and you're still the same, you're in trouble. So I had to always learn. But one of the steps for navigating career pivots, I would say, is number one, audit your skills and passion. Do an audit of your skills and passion. So you ask yourself, what are you great at? What's that one thing that truly excites you? What's that one thing you can do that you will sleep well at night when you're done doing, and that would give you joy, knowing that you have either made an impact in someone's life, or you've created a purpose for someone, or you've inspired someone. So you have to learn to audit your skills and your passions. And if you're working on passions, be sure that your passion can put food on your table. So that passion you're working towards, how are you going to build it? Build skills around it in such a way that it will make you a valuable person in the industry. And that skills you're auditing, what value is it bringing to the table? I talk to a lot of young people around me. I tell them, in everything you do, in every establishment you find yourself, please be of value. Even if it's just the printer you operate, you be that person that they'll say, the printer is not working. Go and call her where she is. She's the only person that can operate the printer. They will not let you go because they need the printer and they need you. So audit your skills and know those skills that you can hold on tight to that would benefit you through and through. Now, moving on, I would say identify your transferable skills. So you have audited your skills. You know the skills that would work for you and the passion. Now you have to identify the ones you can actually transfer from one field to another. For me, it was storytelling. For you, it could be something else. For you, it could be strategic communication. For you, it could be your ability to walk into a room, own it, and pass your information out there. But you need to identify that skill that would make your transfer way easier for you. Now, moving on away from that, learn, unlearn, and relearn. Now, I'll throw more light on this here because learning is very important. And before I started my job, I said I have no idea as much when it comes to communications, but I know that if I sit and learn, I'll do a good job. So I started taking up courses. I started learning, but I wasn't still getting it because I did not understand how it is to learn. So you need to learn how to learn to start with. For you to learn, you need to first of all set a learning intention. Now, this is how to learn. You have to set a learning intention. You don't just pick up that book or take up that course because you're learning. Your learning intention has to be clear. I'm learning and I'm taking this course because I want to be of value to where I'm stepping my feet into. That is one learning intention. And it shouldn't be tied to, there's a difference. It shouldn't be tied to a purpose or a deadline, saying, I'm learning. In fact, let me use the popular one when it comes to weight, watching your weight. I'm losing weight because I want to. No, you're losing weight. Are you losing weight because you want to look trimmed, or you're losing weight because you want to live a healthy life? So your learning intention should allow you enjoy the process of learning, and not just because you are hitting a targeted goal. You're not learning because you want to hit a target goal. You're learning because it's a lifelong process. So you set learning intention. Secondly, another tips about learning is beyond setting learning intention is tying it to a meaning. So let it be tied to a meaning in your life. You're learning. Are you learning just because you want to learn? Or you're learning because you want to tell story in a better way that would change the life of one child in Maiduguri? Or because you want to tell stories in a better way? I'm speaking for me, but we all have why we want to learn. So for me, I was like, okay, I think I'm learning because when I want to spotlight a girl child somewhere, and I'm talking about her story or how she has to sell masa before she goes to school, and the international organization will see that and take up. So I'm learning storytelling because I want to make impact from the grassroots up the best way I can. So I set a learning intention and I tie it to a meaning, and that keeps me motivated. So when you set a learning intention and you tie it to a meaning, it keeps you motivated through and through. You don't lose out. You don't lose interest. It's just like learning to play a piano. So I want to say, I'm learning to play a piano because I want to play at the MBA conference come 2025, I would say that is you learning and putting too much pressure on yourself. I would want to learn to play piano because I want to play for my friends at Christmas. That's something that would give me joy, meaning, and connection to the people I am relating with. So you realize that when you learn it because you want to play for your friends, you end up playing for that MBA event because you started out small and you started out with a meaning. So it's very important. Please, if you're moving to a career field or you're pivoting, you must learn. There's no two ways about it. I remember when I got called for a job at Media Trust Group, and they called and they said, hello, is this Lillian? I said, yes. Said, we're looking for an audio producer. Well, I have never heard that word in my life before. Can you do it? I was working in a radio station. So audio, radio. Yes, I can. And they said, okay, so we need you to come in tomorrow and demo for us. And I had just started my podcast then, so I knew that it's audio now. I must find my way around it. But I didn't go there with that mindset. I sat up and I Googled audio producer and I read about it. For the 4 years, I grew their podcast from 0 to over 50K listeners. I was learning every day. I was learning new skills on YouTube, on how to edit better, on how to cut better, I just kept on learning. So learning never stops, even till date. I want to know, this hook they came up with for this story, how did they do it? What were they thinking about? How did they put it in? So you just have to learn. That is one major step when you're pivoting and you do not want to lose momentum. You must learn. You must know how to learn how to learn, and actually learn. That way, it will still keep you updated on current trends happening around you, and it will definitely help you. Number 5, build relationships before you need them. Now, we had the barrister, he spoke about that, about building relationships and making yourself unforgettable. The fact that I'm standing here today is because of relationships. I would always call Mrs. Falakema, please, we need you on the radio. We need you to come and talk about this. And she'll show up. And I'll wish her a happy birthday. And I'll give her a call when I need someone to talk to. I maintained that relationship. I'm very horrible at relationships to start with. I don't even know how I managed not to sabotage that. I'm very horrible at maintaining friendships because I'm a very shy person. So you won't even see me say hi to you. I will pass you and go. But I learned how to maintain relationships. Until date, most jobs I've gotten, most navigations I've made came as a result of reference, because of the relationships I've learned to build with people. And I wouldn't say just any kind, strategic relationships that would benefit you. And also, be that person that when they're looking for who to recommend, they will point at you because they know that you have the skills, you have the reputation, and you have the ability to deliver. So you have to build yourself to be able to maintain a relationship with some certain caliber of people to start with and be able to deliver. And that's, what number is that? That's 2 is identify your transferable skills. Learn, yes. 4 is build relationships before you need them. So your network is not about transaction, it's about genuine connection. So for you to be able to network and pivot, it's about genuine connection. Networking is very, very important. Getting that contact, getting that number, maintaining that relationship, communicating with the person moving forward is very, very important. And step 5, rebrand yourself. That one is very simple. I'm sorry, but LinkedIn makes it very difficult for you to see yourself as a serious person. Because when you go on LinkedIn, the kind of achievement people are putting out there, you wonder if you're even serious with your career or serious with your life. So, but you have to rebrand yourself. Update your CV on LinkedIn. Create your portfolio. Let your portfolio tell a story of your journey. Any brand will want to work with you if they can relate to your story. Like he said, they need you. These corporations need you, but they have to be sure that you can key into their stories. So the only way they can see you is through how much you put yourself out there, through your CV, through your portfolios. Leverage on your social media as much as you can and rebrand yourself. And another reason why I also push on rebranding for me, I know that it's also an avenue to reach out to people as well. You won't know who you're inspiring through your story one way or another. You might be innocently rebranding yourself, but you're an inspiration to somebody else who would even recommend you for an opportunity you do not expect the person to even have the connections to. But because you put yourself out there, which is very important. And then finally, execute small moves. Collaborate, volunteer, execute. That video you've made in your phone that has been there for days, please post it, remove it, send it out. You have to you cannot, if you do all this on the inside and you don't execute it, then there's no point. So create that video. When I said I wanted to start creating content, and I was like, maybe I'll do a faceless content. Be it as it may, in as much as I'm speaking here, I will not go back and listen to this thing because I don't like hearing my voice. I don't like hearing how I sound. So if I'm creating content, or I would just
We have 5 minutes more.
Voice it and push
5
it out.
minutes more, please.
But I would not go back and listen to it. But sometimes
5
I
minutes
have
more,
to,
everyone.
Because, I mean, that's the only way you grow.
5 minutes more to the end of our breakout session.
Now, quickly, I was going to talk about AI, which I'm still going to talk about. My pivot with AI was very critical. I started journalism in a world where you are the one writing your story yourself. There's no ChatGPT to help you. So please, in as much as you're pivoting, please leverage on AI. The future of work is changing, and it's changing so bad. I didn't believe that I'll be in a point in my life where I'll be working with people who were born in 2006, 2007, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to disclose when I was born, but it's a lot, because I'm seeing the skills these people have. But one thing I noticed that they don't have, which if you're young, you take upon it, they don't have the tenacity. They don't have the patience to do the job. But with the older ones, we do have the patience. So imagine having the patience, the zeal, and the tenacity, and then you now add it with the new skills. They will be nowhere near you. So for the young ones, please add hard work, tenacity, patience. Be ready to execute the job. Put your head down and do it. And for the older ones that we have moved past this, we'll just add the skills. And with everything we have, we'll do well. And this very important part, overcoming fear and doubt. That one is very important. This fear of the unknown. My husband just left. That's normal. He will always run away. He doesn't like being called upon and things like this. But he was one person that kept on pushing. You might have that person in your corner, but you can't identify it. And he will call, Madam, this is your work. It's not working, no. It's making me and my children suffer. Look for another work. Madam, you're not applying yourself well. But what are you scared of? What is the worst thing that could possibly happen? And at the end of the day, I always said, last, it's only no they will tell me. But the fact that I put my foot in there is a plus for me. So when I was navigating my pivots, I started taking classes. I started applying for jobs. And I know so many jobs I applied for that deep within my heart, I knew I was not qualified for it. But I just knew that all they had to do was call me. What's the worst they could do? One thing I know I didn't do was quitting my job just because I was waiting to get another job. I was still on my job while applying for jobs, while looking for jobs, while learning, while looking for opportunities, and still running a home with 2 boys. You know how they can be scattered. So all of that put together was going on in my life at the same time. But one thing I did was that fear. I killed the fear. And for every time I felt unsure, I reminded myself in my head that it's just a pivot. It's a move. It's not a restart. I'm just moving from here to here, from good to best, from good to great, from good to better. It's not a restart. It's just me, it doesn't erase my previous achievements. It gives me an opportunity to be better, leveraging on the skills I'm taking to this new field. So a few lessons that helped me fuel my pivot was, 1, redefining the pivot. So I had it in my head that it is not abandoning my career. It is repurposing myself for a new arena.
2 more minutes.
And I
2
anchored on my transferable
minutes.
value. That thing that I know that is a value to me, which for me, I know it's my ability to think critically on my foot. I anchored on it, and I would sell it, and I used it to move. And then direction over speed. That's one thing I know I always remembered. I would rather have where I'm going to than go nowhere at a very fast pace. So direction over speed. Now, finally, mindset. Mindset is very important. Now, I define mindset as the beliefs that filter you from reality. And it's the power of believing that you can improve. You have to know within yourself that this thing, I can do it, and you will do it. So when it comes to that, you have to, I would say pivot is more mental than technical, because you have to have a growth mindset, have a community mindset, a consistency mindset. Keep doing this thing you're doing, continue doing it, and keep at it. One thing is sure, you will see results, so you don't stop. So that growth mindset was what I did. I know that I need to learn. I set my learning intentions. I tied it to a purpose, and I had that mindset that I can do this, and there's nothing that can stop me. And I put my mind to it. In fact, through pregnancy, 2 days when I gave birth, I was standing in a training. My stomach was somewhere around, and I was speaking. I knew that I would do this, and I would go and give birth, and nothing will happen. I will continue. And that was just how I always have that purpose-driven mindset going on. Now, before we go, I'll talk about some common mistakes to avoid. I think I'll take just 3. 1, rushing the process. A career pivot could take you, mine took me as much as 4 months. So it could take you as much as a year. It's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. It's a step-by-step process. 2, do not compare your timeline. You're not late. You're just in progress, and it's moving. And do not neglect your story. Every experience builds your story to where you are. So do not let go of your story. Your story is who you are. It is part of you. It is what has made you where you are. I could tell my story today and package it nicely, and it will look like a mini documentary. So you must leverage on your story and do not neglect them. All right. Since we're rushing, now this, I'm not going to also look at it, but I'll leave it to you for reflection. While on your notes pad, write 3 quick things. Where I am now, where I want to go, and 3 small steps I'll take in the next 30 days that will take me to where I want to go. So critically think of where you are at the moment, reflect on where it is you see yourself and where it is you want to go, and think of those tiny steps. It could be taking a course, it could be networking with someone on LinkedIn about where it is you want to go to. Just connect with the person. It could be,
I'm sure we're having a fantastic time. Let's start rounding up.
So have that as a reflection. If anybody would love to mention theirs, that's fine. But if you wouldn't, it's still okay. But it's something that you take home and think. And you need to have this critical step, because that's the only way you could perfect your pivot process. Where you are now.
Facilitators, let's start taking closing thoughts
you need to take.
and final remarks.
And as I close, your career is not a ladder, which is what we've said. When they were saying that, I was just laughing. It's not a ladder. It's not straight. It's in different dimensions. It comes in different stories. If I can move from radio to TV to print to digital and back to communications, I don't even know if at this point I'm doing all of them, then I don't believe there's any problem with anybody deciding to pivot. All you have to do is just identify your transferable skills, audit those skills, identify the transferable skills, learn, have a growth mindset. Keep building on every opportunity, and then do not miss out on opportunities. Conferences, webinars, you don't know who you would meet. I was invited for a birthday party, and I was like, why am I going for this birthday party?
Thank you so much, our amazing facilitators.
So please, let's leverage on opportunities. Having said that, my name is Lilian Ogazi. Thank you so much.
Let's wrap up. Thank
I
you.
hope you've picked something from our conversation.
Thank you so
this
much.
afternoon.
Thank you so much. A round of applause for our amazing facilitators, please. Thank you. Mrs. Lilian Ogazi, we say a very big thank you. Dr. Iden Shaibu, we say a very big thank you. Mr. Kinwumi Akinola, we say a very big thank you. And Coach Afolake Agunbiade, we say a very, very big thank you. Sound team, I need you to put me back upstage, please. We will take that. Let them just note. No, we'll take it generally. I've just been informed that we still have questions in each of the cohorts, so I'm asking that we please note your questions down so that we can take them in the general session. Sound team, I need you to put me back on stage, please. Thank you. Welcome back, everyone. How was your breakout session? Give me one word to describe your breakout session. One word. Impactful. My mama said impactful. Okay. Anyone else? Amazing. Another word? Awesome. I'm glad we had so much fun in our respective court. Can I ask that we please remain in the auditorium for another 5 minutes, please? Can I ask that we all please take our seats? We had to make a very quick adjustment to our program so that we can accommodate. We had to make a very quick adjustment to our program so that we can accommodate a few of our guests who have to travel out of town or to attend to a few very important appointments. Convener Ma, I will need you on stage, please. I will need you on stage. Can you please join me to shout a very big thank you to our facilitators? 1, 2, ready, go. Say thank you. All right, at Katzin Consult and at the Career Acceleration Summit, we know how to say thank you to our own. So please welcome our convener on stage as she presents a special recognition award and boxes to our facilitators for all the sessions we've had today. Please make welcome to the stage Mrs. Omofoma Agarite. She took the very first session for this morning, and it was truly, truly impactful. We appreciate you. Can I have a box, please? Please put your hands together. Keep clapping for her, please. Keep clapping for her on behalf of the entire team at Katzin Consult and the Career Acceleration Summit. We say a very big thank you, and we look forward to seeing you again in no distant time. But we'd like to see her again. Please put your hands together for her one more time. We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome to the podium the amazing, the one, the only Barrister Benjamin Wesley. Put your hands together as we make him warmly welcome to the podium. We want to say a very, very big thank you, not just as a facilitator, but as a partner, as a family member, as our go-to person, our resource person. We truly value, we appreciate you, and we're truly, truly grateful for you. Thank you so much for adding value to us at the Career Acceleration Summit. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with me Mr. Akinwumi Akinola. I expect those who are in his breakout session to make the loudest noise. Come on, make it loud for him. Put your hands together and make some noise. We truly appreciate you, sir. You added so much value to the conversation at the Career Acceleration Summit. Thank you for your invaluable insights. We're truly, truly grateful for you. Please welcome on stage Mrs. Lillian Ogaze as she comes to receive our special recognition award. Where is she? She's here. Please appreciate her for me. And I love your jacket, by the way. I learned your session was amazing. Congratulations. Thank you so much for partnering with us. Thank you so much for adding so much value to us at the summit. I would like to bring up stage Dr. Idei Shaibo. I hope he's still in the building. Please help me make him warmly welcome, Dr. Shaibo. I hope you enjoyed this class. Okay, fantastic. I think that will be all for this segment. Please help me appreciate my convener as she goes back to her seat. Yes, please. All right, moving on very quickly. We had to bring this segment of the event forward because it's very important to all of us at Katzin and at the Career Acceleration Summit team. Please, I will be bringing up to coordinate this unveil session. That's a book unveil of our convener's 6th book, Help Me Level Up, and the 4th in the Help Me series. I'll be bringing up to do this none else than the one, the only Barrister Benjamin Wesley. Please put your hands together for him as he comes to the podium to moderate and anchor this very important segment of our program. Please, can you clap for him some more? Thank you.
Have we had a good time today? Really? Have we had a good time today? It doesn't sound like it. Have we had a good time today? Now they hungry. If I know answer well, I had plans of sending everybody to the Hilton, but the way you guys are behaving, I think I'm going to have to reconsider. But you know, life opens opportunities for everyone, but usually very few people take it. And so I want to congratulate everyone who was courageous enough to think, decide, plan, and attend this event. What you have done is you have showed up, and that's the first thing you need to do. Showing up. Show up weak. Show up unsure. Show up not knowing why you showed up, but showing up anyway. That's the first important thing you need to do to give yourself a chance in life, is to show up. Nobody in life knows exactly what tomorrow holds. Nobody knows tomorrow. We only know what has happened yesterday and then what we're doing now. I don't know what's going to happen in the next 15 minutes. And so when you show up, you give yourself a chance. You give yourself an opportunity to be in the moment and to be able to absorb what the moment presents and then to utilize it to move forward. So for coming out today, for showing up, congratulations. Now, a lot of things you have heard from the fireside chats, 5 weeks running. I didn't miss one. Very awesome presenters, by the way. Send our thanks to all of our presenters who presented online. They were really, really awesome. All of that is encapsulated in this tiny book. It is a small capsule, but it is powerful. I just took a little time to scan it now. I would have done an exhaustive review, but I don't want to waste a lot of time because a lot of what is inside of this book has been spoken to you. You have heard it in the mouth of all of the speakers that we have engaged with over the past 5 weeks. But I want to just give a punch on this. This is a capsule that will cure your mindset defects. It will shift negative mindsets. It will shift negative self-perception. It will help you to be able to fine-tune your unique personality. We were talking about sanguine, phlegmatic. We were talking about people who are shy, people who are introverts. You are that way for a reason. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong. The snail is the snail. The snail cannot compete with a cheetah. It will fail. But the snail, if the snail stays on its path, it will reach where it is destined to go to. So you are the way you are because your uniqueness, your purpose is tied into your personality. This is written very easy. Easy to read, easy English, personal experience. The things she went through herself, the things she's had to deal with, mindsets, lies that she had to pull down. And she gave accounts of other people who had similar issues that she helped to be able to reshape and reset their mindset to move forward. The account is here. There's a difference between inspiration and motivation. Most people think it's the same thing. No. Inspiration is sowing the seed. Motivation is giving you a reason to move forward. For some of you, this is inspiration. Sowing a seed that will germinate, grow roots that will overshadow the negative mindsets that you have had. For some of you, it will reinforce yourself that you have found and help you to move forward faster, better, in a more fulfilling way. This is what is contained in Help Me Level Up. This is supposed to help you. And this is not a textbook. This is a manual. This is a workbook. It has 12 chapters, and every chapter at the end has sections where you will answer certain questions about yourself. When you have read the text of the chapter, it has at the end questions, practical questions. It will ask you questions that will help you to find yourself, and at the end of the day, define yourself, and at the end of the day, refine yourself, and moving forward, love yourself. So for me, it is an honor and privilege to be the one to unveil this. I like the fact that you put Help Me series. It means more is coming. Okay? It means more is coming. It's a handbook you can have in your bag. In fact, if you can make it smaller, so that we can put it in our purses and put it in the back of our pockets or put it in our man purse. Because, guys, we carry purse now, but and the women are jealous. They never see anything. They be wearing trousers for how many years we have not said anything. Small man purse where we carry now. Everybody, they complain. But you know, this is something you need to carry with you and refer to every time. It's not a one-time read. It's a workbook. You go back to a particular topic and you look at it again. The power of relationships and surrounding yourself with growth allies. If you miss it, you botch an opportunity to network and to leverage the people in your space, you can go back and look at it. So, it's a daily manual. So I want to encourage everyone who is here to give themselves an opportunity to level up. Help has come, take the help. There's no one who is beyond help. At every level I said that a man is or a woman is in her life, she needs help to move forward to the next level. Nobody has arrived. We never arrive until the day that we leave this earth. As long as you're alive, you're on a journey. And you need people to move forward with the next few steps. Correct? Some of us have old. My father called yesterday morning, right? My father is 105 years old, by the way. And he called and he started quarreling on the phone. And, you know, my wife sat down. I was listening to the engagement between me and him. I was quarreling my father. Me like this. I get liver. My father, RSM. When I know RSM before, I was quarreling RSM. You know, and, but he needed to engage, and I was telling him how to move forward with certain things. Me. At 105, you would think that he has seen all and he knows all. But I'm telling him, no, that's not how to do that. This is how you need to do this. And he started with shouting. Eventually, his voice calmed down. Said, okay, no, it's just, I understand, I've heard you. The point is, we all need help to move forward. Okay? Give yourself the chance. I don't know, did you put a price on this? 5,000 naira. How many people can afford 5,000 naira here? You can afford 5,000 naira to buy. How many people cannot afford 5,000 naira? They taught you here just now to raise your hand. If you want to raise your hand, don't raise your hand inside your heart. I can't see your heart. How many people? So, 5,000 naira. Discounted price. I'm saying raise up your hand. I want to buy. Can you see the hands? I want to buy popcorn. Okay, the first 30 people to register with whoever is in charge, I'll pay for it. Okay, I'll pay for it. And I also advise you make a soft copy, digital copy, so that people go to the website and download, and you can beg you to give a discount on that one, so that we want as many people as possible. It is a help book, and we will try to make it very accessible so that they can get the help that they need. Oh, it's even the fourth. So that means you need to go back and get part 1, part 2, part 3. And then this is part 4. And so you need to tag it for us. Okay? But it is an easy read. It is full of life assisting. It's not nuggets. It's just stories and experiences. Personal. Relatable. Some of you will find yourselves in the pages of this book, and you'll be able to find your new self out. Okay? So it is my honor and privilege today to be the one to unveil this Help Me Level Up, which is a 4th in the series. I'd like to invite my brother. Come join me, ma'am, sir. All of our special guests. Come. So you can take one copy and just hold. The more the merrier. You know, when I see plenty people, all I see is plenty money. Because it is people who carry money. So the more people, the more money. Now, while this is not a book launch, I'm going to urge all of my colleagues on this side to support this work by ensuring that every young person who is in this room today goes home with one copy. Is that okay? I'm not going to ask you to say any, but we should ensure that everyone who is here today will get a copy, and we on this side are going to pay for it. So that's the first help that we're rendering to you. Make sense? Okay. So we're unveiling this and we're dedicating this to growth, to personal discovery, to fulfillment, to finding purpose, to finding yourselves, and overall to becoming better individuals that will serve our society in a better way. So we ask that God will bless this work. And for those of you who are reading it, God will also bless your minds with the things He needs to bless your mind with so that you can find yourselves and accomplish purpose. So we dedicate this book to great Nigerians, to powerful Nigerians, to awesome young Nigerians, the people who own today and who own tomorrow. So we want to congratulate Mrs. Afolake Agumbiade for sharing your life, sharing your experience, sharing your time, and sacrificing it to help other people find themselves. We are sure that this is going to soar. We're not doing this because you want to make money. By the way, you're going to make a lot of money. Plenty money.
Amen.
I was telling you today that we're not afraid of billions. I said that somewhere and somebody was. I said, no, we know they fear money. The fact that we don't have it does not mean that we're afraid of it. But we are ready. How many are ready here? So this is dedicated to the progress of humanity and to the progress of this country. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't know how we're going to coordinate it and ensure that everyone gets a copy and we get the money from this place here. On our own ourselves, where the money people? The account number. Okay, account number. How many are we here today? Everybody should have a copy in their hands. Oh yeah, come and help me, ushers. Yes. But how many people do we have in the room? 100 and how many? Somebody should give me the exact number of attendants today. I used to be class monitor. They take names of noisemakers. When I make noise for class pass. So the list never gets to the teacher. Because I was the loudest noisemaker in class. Just count and give to ushers. Before I step down, I want everyone to have a copy in their hand. Sorry? 100 plus. Which number be that? 105 multiplied by 5K. That's how much? That's how much? That's 500 and how many thousand? 525,000. No, now. So the 30 way I been one buying how much? Huh? The 30 is how much? 150,000. No, as chairman. They're gonna hail chairman as chairman level. As chairman level, I am doing 300,000 now. So the rest of now, if now no greet me if I come up for this place, I have to greet me. I don't do 300,000 now. So the one will hail me. Thank you very much. Okay, so everyone has a copy, and then the balance, the account is on the. You can do more than 10,000, 20,000 naira because I'm sure they have things they need to sort out also. The logistics for the program. Let's just assist as much as we can. Help is everywhere. Let's help each other, okay? So congratulations, Mrs. Afolake Agumbiade, our awesome convener. High energy. Energy to go around for everybody. Supercharged. God bless you. God bless this work. It will prosper. It will go far. It will go to not just far, but it will go to the critical and relevant places. And it will help people. It will raise great people. People that will be greater than you. As a harvest for all the work that you have done. Congratulations. All right.
Thank you so much. I think I can't end this by saying thank you all for coming. Every single one of you that I invited are important to me. Yes. I don't just do events. I do events for impact. And I pick people who are impact makers with me. Thank you for being a part of the Career Acceleration Summit Impact Story. Because posterity will remember today. And your names will be etched in gold for every single person that this book will be placed into their hands. We're planning to take it to universities. We're planning to take it to secondary schools because the rate of confusion that young people are in is alarming. I stopped writing for adults. My first 2 books were for adults. The last 4 are for young people because we need to get it right. There are adults that are reading the Help Me series in their 50 for clarity and direction. So thank you and God bless you. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. You may be seated, Sirs and Mars. Thank you so much.
Another round of applause for our amazing convener and to every of our guests and VVIPs who have graced the stage. Thank you so much for giving so generously. We are truly grateful for the gift of the Career Acceleration Summit and also of the gift that was newly launched. Are we grateful for the gift of the book in our hands? Can we shout thank you so much? We truly appreciate it and we promise that we'll put the book to good use. We will make sure that the return on your investment is going to count not only in our lives, but in the life of everyone that we know and in our world. We say a very big thank you. Trust that we've all had a beautiful time so far. I'm happy to inform you that we're going on a break, a very short break. So I ask that you please make your way to the foyer. We have exhibitors in there. We have vendors who have come to display their wares, their things to buy. Make sure you connect with someone. And if you have questions from any of the breakout sessions that is yet to be answered, please hand them over either to myself, to Chidema, or Atinuke. We would have a panel session at some point when we return from the break. We have a powerful session that is going to be facilitated by Coach Sam Obafemi. If you know him very well, you know he's someone you want to listen to. He's someone who has been able to leverage communities, the power of communities. He has created a lot of communities. If you ever heard about Circle Africa, I'm talking about the brain behind Circle Africa and a lot of other initiatives within Nigeria and beyond. We are having a beautiful time and a blast. You don't want to miss it. Just in case there are friends of yours who should be here, who are not here yet, share the live link with them and tell them that if they're in the city of Abuja, we're still here for a few more hours before we call it a wrap for today. And definitely, we all will accelerate in our career journey. Okay. I've just been advised that Barrister Obi would love to launch the Help Me Level Up latest book in our conveners collection. Please, ladies and gentlemen, I like givers. I like people who are selfless. So I want you to please help me appreciate her as I bring her to the microphone. Would you rather come to the podium or do I give you the microphone right where you are, ma? Which would you prefer? Okay, ma, please come on stage. Please put your hands together for her. Barrister Obi, she's my senior Leonard colleague. It's an honor to bring you to the podium. Please clap for my Leonard senior now, please. Thank you so much.
Okay, good day, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. And I would like to, because I'm a lover of the youth, and I'm always touched by anything that is going to impact them. And because this book has, I'm yet to read it, but I have one already. So because I want to get it for a lot of youths, and I would dedicate one part here, and I would dedicate one part of my launch to myself, because I have a lot of proteges that I need to share the book to, because they are our tomorrow, they are our future. If we don't do anything now, it's going to be a mess in years to come. So on my part, to be able to give back to some of the youths that she's nurturing and assisting, I will do 250,000 for her, the one they would give to. Yeah. Then for my takeaway, I will do another 250. That's 500,000. Thank you very much.
Is that the best you can do? Come on, come on, come on. She deserves a resounding applause. Barrister Obi, we appreciate you and we're truly grateful. Thank you so much for your big heart. Thank you so much for giving so generously. We're truly grateful for you. Thank you so much. Team members, please let's make the books available, the ones she'll be taking with her and the ones we intend to continue to share to everyone, because we want everyone to level up. We want everyone to grow. We want everyone to accelerate on their career journey. To all our sponsors and partners, we'd like to say very, very big thank you to you once again for being a part of this journey. Please be informed that Studio 24 brought their professional studio here to the Career Acceleration Summit. Right out there in the foyer, there is the opportunity for you to take a discounted headshot that you're going to use on your LinkedIn profile and on your social media handles that will help with your professional image, that will help you to push yourself out there and make those who truly need the solutions and the value that you bring to see you. Ladies and gentlemen, I will ask that please we take our break right about now. Don't forget that if you have questions, please write them down, hand them over either to myself, to Atinuke, or to Chidima, and make sure you meet someone. Make sure you hand your complimentary card over to someone. Make sure you connect with someone and let us level up together. We'll be back in 20 minutes, and we will head straight into our next session before we wrap up for the day. Thank you so much. We'll be back in a short while. Enjoy your break, everyone. Thank you so much.
Stand up from your seats and go and network. We've been sitting down for hours. Everyone should be up on their